One word. Redundancy.
I didn't make the decision. It was, hey, sometimes the universe has a way of telling you things. Sometimes the universe has a way of saying, yeah, chase this music thing.
I'll tell you why though. I'll tell you exactly why I agree with what you said. Because that was obviously a little joke there, but it was true. But because what I wrote on the sheet, basically, man, there was like a number, a monetary number I wrote. And I was like, listen, I want this by this time. When I got the redundancy pack, it was the exact amount that I had wrote on the page.
Jesus.
So to me, in my head, I was like, that was meant to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes things are, sometimes they aren't. But for me, I was just like, right. And when I took that, I think I became a bit more spiritual, boys, and a bit more like have a bit of faith and there's more out there. Because what happened then was, I was like, okay, I'm clear. This is the path now I'm on. So
penny for my dots, cause you know I'm trying to change. If I ever took a loss, charge it to the game. When we see games,
fucking shy, man.
Is it shit?
Shy.
Oh, don't fucking
Bro,
say that.
Denzel Washington couldn't save it, boys. Yeah, and he's one of the best actors in the game. He could not save it, man. It was a thought.
I was meant to watch it last Friday, but my missus was ill,
Yeah.
so we just didn't go because she would have just fell asleep. So
You would have got ill if you would have went to see the film. I'll say that, man.
That's what I hear about Joker 2. I heard Joker. There has not been a single person that I've talked to that said Joker 2 is okay.
Bro, because me and Ron were going to the cinema, man. Joker 2 was there, and then it was like, we'll just go see The Substance, man. Have you seen that film, boys?
I saw it.
Man,
Is it good?
that is the maddest film ever, boys. I love it.
who's in that?
I have no fucking idea.
It's like Demi Moore and, and there's like a younger actress. But man, when we were watching it, man, right, so I didn't know what it was about. And Ron's synopsis was way off. And Ron's like, yeah, it's about some reporter. I'm not single man. Turn this into the film, man. So right, we go to see it. I had no idea what I'm in for, man. I step in. It was like being on a roller coaster, boys. I might as well have strapped in and held it. Boys, it was the best cinema experience, man.
It was a really good movie.
There was an old couple.
You went to see it as well?
Yeah, I remember.
Was that one by yourself?
No, yeah.
Shout out.
Remember when I came in and I asked you about do you feel like you're valuing your youth?
Yes, yeah.
Man, there's so much questions from the film, bro.
Bro,
You think about aging and all, man, and women age, and I was like, because that's the thing. I was like, we're gonna get a deep message here about how women feel when they age and all. It just turns out fucking.
No, but I feel like you do get that message in it though, like because.
But man, it goes a bit pear shaped, you know what I mean?
The end of it, I was just like,
bro, I
what
started
the fuck is
laughing, man.
happening?
But here, bro, there was like an old couple that came in, right, and they sat up near the front, and you could tell it was like a thing where they're trying to challenge themselves. Oh, we go see like a horror, yeah, sitting up the front, man. 2 minutes later, man, slide down the back, right? 15 minutes later, one of them goes to the jacks. Another 5 minutes, the other one goes to the jacks. Left. But they're obviously trying to do it like stealth, Oh, I need to go to the jacks, yeah. Come over here now, yeah. Oh, man.
Who picked the movie? Was it Ron that picked the movie?
It was Ron.
Of
Ron, shout out to you, man, because Ron's picked Wings, man. And Nora, have you seen this one?
No.
Boys, it's a cracker of a film.
See, I don't go to the cinema unless it's like a blockbuster or a big name, like Gladiator.
But you know what, though, Jordan?
You're the problem.
Yeah.
You fuck yourself by doing that, because I was like, Gladiator, blockbuster, shite! It's fucking dirt, man.
Oh, don't tell. But you know what? I will say the quality of movies have severely dropped.
Yeah.
Like I remember I used to live beside the cinema and I used to try and go all the time.
Yeah.
And then now, like I look in the cinemas, I'm like, there's actually nothing I really want to see.
Oxy, man. I'll go see the oldies, man. That's what I do. I saw Terminator 2, boys. Best cinema experience, man. There's like 7 of us on the row, man.
I've never watched that. I've never watched Terminator full stop.
Nah. You're like Curtis, man. I goes to Curtis, bro. You need to watch it. He watched the first and he's like, man, he had all these messages. I was like, man, we all see the second one. We all watched the second one, boys, and it reinvigorated my love of cinema, man.
Yeah.
Because I fell out of love with the cinema big time. Saw Terminator 2, I was like, this is...
Why'd you fall in love with the cinema? Because I was like, yeah. I used to go all the time. I used to go, you watch movies like Dodgeball, like all those like Super Bad. All of those movies, you'd watch them. But now I feel like I have to get like a cinematic experience because rather than they're just like those movies are just like storyline, you're following a message for they're going buy and drink, they're too young to buy. I just following the story and it was fun. But now I'm just like, if I'm gonna go to the cinema, I want to be flying cars. Yeah.
Die Hard 4.0 job.
And I think that's kind of what's ruined the cinematic experience in general because those movies don't do as well, so they have to go for like movies that do as like Top Gun. We're like, because you get all of that. He's on a bike and people love it because they're like, oh yeah, action
movie though.
I heard Top Gun is good.
I've never seen Top Gun. I'm just saying like some of these movies with bad explosions.
Yeah,
shit movies.
yeah, because they focus on the explosion rather than the storyline. So the storyline falls off.
If there was one movie,
Bay.
if there was one movie,
He's king for that.
if there was one movie you didn't get to see in cinema that you wish you could, what movie would it be?
Oh, it's like Titanic.
No, wait. I think he was gone here. I think he went over there.
Titanic.
No. If you could see it.
Yeah, like no.
That you didn't see in no. It doesn't matter if you've watched the movie.
Yeah.
What movie would you have liked to watch in the cinema?
I wish I was alive in '97 when Titanic was first in the cinema, and I had that cinematic experience in real time.
Is it-
Titanic,
just so
yeah.
just so you
I
can see
haven't
the
even
window
seen
scene.
I'm the king of the world.
no, but I think it's also because of that. But I think it's Titanic was also the first movie I remember like paying attention to. Do you know when you're with your parents and they're just like watching movies and the movie is done, but you're not really paying attention. Yeah. But I vividly remember sitting down and paying attention to Titanic, him winning the trip and running to the thing. Yeah. Like I vividly remember being young
Actually
and seeing
understanding what's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Jordan,
I think
you
that's
sold
why.
me on that now. I actually understand it.
So that I think that. Well, obviously, I would have liked to have seen. There's a lot of movies I would have liked to have watched and shows in the time within they were released.
When it happened,
like I would have loved to watch Terminator when it was released. I would have loved to be what Sopranos in the '99. Like to have like a 50 minutes TV show every Monday. I would have loved to like
or The Wire.
Yeah, all of that.
Oh man, the boys.
But what about you guys? What movie would you have like just
Probably one of my favorite movies ever. Probably Law Abiding Citizen.
Oh, that's cool.
Law-Abiding Citizen, yeah.
I love that movie.
You could have went to the cinema for that.
I know, and
I was like, wait, because it's like 2012. That was like 2011, 2012.
No, you know what happened, yeah? I actually remember sitting there and looking at the what's called the trailer, watching the trailer. Like, I'm gonna go see that. Never saw it.
Bro,
Looking at watching like 5 years after.
The trailer for that was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, even the movie was fucking.
How did he get out of there?
That's a movie. Like, you know, some movies it takes time, bro. In the first 2 minutes, you're hooked.
Yeah,
straight bang.
Yeah,
crazy.
I need to watch it again, but I remember when I watched it, man. That ending, boys.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx
Mad.
and Gerard
That was
Butler.
a bit mad, no?
That whole movie was mad, bro.
Can we give a spoiler for the people watching?
It's
it?
been out
It's been up for like
2011.
it's been up for like 15 years.
Right, fair.
I watched it now. Charge
Might
it.
watch it off this. You never know.
Yeah, but like, spoiler alert, I guess.
But right now, because he's just like, he's in the jail, and then man, surely there's a camera in the bleeding jail cell. They all run off. Oh, he's doing all this. Where is he? Oh, he's sitting there. And then at the end, there was like a hole in the wall.
Yeah, but, okay, but the thing is,
It was still class.
The leader.
If we start really dissecting
Yeah.
movies, we're not gonna enjoy anything.
Plot
No,
holes.
but that was proper. Like, how's he gonna get out, boys? Put all in the wall. I just feel like there was a few of the boys just sitting around like, yeah, we're gonna do. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood, yo. Here's 500,000. Shut the fuck up.
What movie you go back to watch?
Do you know what, man? It would have been Terminator 2, and then I did see it, so I'll pick a different answer. Hot Fuzz, man. Love Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz?
Bro, that's a cracker.
Well, you could have went to the cinema to see that.
I was like fucking 11.
Wait, how old are you now?
28.
You're 2 years younger than me. I remember Hot Fuzz being in the cinema.
Really, yeah?
Well, maybe I was 13, 14 as well. Yeah, maybe you're
You
a
would've
bit too
went,
young.
man.
No, I wouldn't. I didn't go, but I remember I remember even seeing like yourself watching a movie and then the trailer for Hot Fuzz coming on.
Don't know what
Let me
it is
see what
about
it
that
was on.
film, boys. There's Hot Fuzz, Wolf of Wall Street, and Scarface, where I can just no matter what mood I'm in, boys, I can just stick them on.
Everybody has one of those.
2007. That would have been 13. Yeah, you would have been like 11.
Low key,
Yeah.
Lion King.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but like Lion King always comes back to the cinema though. He always does come back.
But it's a
after
live action thing, though, man.
Yeah,
They're a
that's
bit
true.
weird.
I want the original,
Yeah.
the original shit, bro. And I love Lion King's probably
top
five
Yeah.
movies.
I remember taking my sister to watch it when the Beyonce one came out.
It's not the same.
But she doesn't know that was her first one.
Beyonce's in The Lion King.
The remake.
You know the remake? No, she made
The voice of Nala.
No
was she the
way.
voice of Nala? No, she made the soundtrack in it.
No, she was also a voice in it.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
yeah, so definitely the voice of either the mom or Simba's love interest.
It's not the same,
I
bro.
completely missed that whole thing, man. That's
So
mad.
you didn't miss much because like there was points in the movie where I was reciting because obviously I've seen Lion King. I've probably seen
Over
Lion King
and over
over
again.
100 times.
Yeah.
So it was like I'm reciting the fucking
You know all
like
the words,
bro,
man.
it was damn near word for word, bar for bar. There was no point.
Yeah, that's a bit sad. That's a bit sad.
What is your favorite movie that's not like a blockbuster?
Oh, what a question.
Is in like a drama kind of.
It just any
movie
that's
that you
not like,
enjoy, but it wasn't like
that's not like a Marvel crazy movie or anything like that.
Can it be like an independent sort of film?
Yeah.
Sort of buzz. Do you know what buzz? Does Mean Girls count?
Mean Girls are crackers.
Oi! Love Mean Girls. No, that's
Mean
Mean
Girls might as well be a blockbuster because it's a cultural phenomenon.
But man,
It's a cultural phenomenon.
I rewatched it recently and I was like, this is amazing. I was like, this is so good, but and you know what's gas, man? You know when they have the gaff party, man? Joe Budden's song is playing. I was like, oh, this is so 2000s was. I love it. I fucking love it, man.
I get it because Mean Girls is not technically a blockbuster, but for some reason it's a cultural phenomenon.
You know
it just
what,
stood
though?
out. It kept it going.
That's
It kept
cinema
going.
there, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Would Hot Fuzz count now?
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd take that.
Hot Fuzz.
But
A little cheeky Pineapple Express.
That's a good one.
it's
man.
super bad a blockbuster.
Yes.
It was a huge film.
It wasn't.
No, but
I watched Superbad this once
But
in
the thing
years.
is, I don't think it was meant to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
I think it's just another cultural.
Yeah.
No, Superbad was a banger.
And then it's like you have to watch it when you were in your teen years because I tried to show it to
Man,
my
because
wife.
you can relate.
Yeah,
to it.
I tried to show it to my wife, like, because she didn't watch it, and I tried to show her. Yeah, and then she didn't understand the hype. I was like, man, give it over, will you?
McLovin. Stop it.
Every
Love
time
that,
I'm
man. He's like, what are you, an Irish R&B singer? Man, one of the best written jokes ever. McLovin, man.
I was
He's
talking
like,
to
it's one name.
Yeah, I remember he gets him the IDs and he's like, Muhammad. What you mean? Muhammad is the most common name in the world.
Man, that was unreal right there.
No, that's a great movie. What else?
what if you do for like album? What album would you have been like to have been alive for when it dropped?
Ready to Die.
What a great answer, man. That's a really good answer.
Ready to Die would have been crazy to be alive for.
There was nothing like that before, bro, yeah?
Like I knew I was alive for, but I wish I was a bit older when Get Rich or Die Trying dropped.
Bro,
I wish
yes,
I got it.
Yes.
Like I wish when
Yes.
Get Rich, like I was like 10, so you don't really get it. Except for like Go Shawty, It's Your Birthday. Outside of that stuff, I wish I was like at least 16 when I heard Many Men for the first time.
Because because all we cared about, well, for me anyways, all I cared about was singles. I didn't really know.
Yeah.
I almost didn't know that albums existed really.
Yeah,
so all
yeah.
I knew was singles. So like obviously you know you go, but you don't know what's really happening.
I've been patiently waiting for my
It's
joy.
so slow.
Get Rich or Die Trying. I wish I was of age when that dropped.
Do you know what I will say on that point? Something interesting, right? Because you said that about albums and stuff. The first album I proper listened to in full was College Dropout, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I defend them too much, man. You know what I mean? There's been so many times where it's me against the world when it comes to this, man. But I feel like because of that album, man, I remember my mate in school had it, and he was like, "Oh man, there's this album I have. It's like a rap album." I was like, "Rap?" Do you know what I mean? I was like, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know much. And he's like, "They're talking about getting high." I was like, "What?" He gave it to me. You know that song? Put your motherfucking head. I was listening to it. I was like, "Whoa!" You know what I mean? Little 9-year-old kid, like, this is amazing, bro. But I listened to the album full, and it gave me the album experience, man. You know, all the skits.
Yeah, workout plan before, and that's such a good point because an album is like it's supposed to be like a body of work where it links all links.
It's a story.
It's a story. It's
there's like a
That's
vision behind it. You know? And that's why I love Kanye for that. But another thing I'll say, man, the song that changed my life though was Jesus Walks, man. You hear that? Dun 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 dun. I was like. I was a kid just like, what is this? What is this amazing thing that I've been doing?
I wonder.
Pick Kanye.
You know kids that weren't allowed to listen to like secular music, yeah?
Yeah.
Was Jesus Walks the only exception? He's like, oh, he's talking about Jesus.
He is though, man. It's actually a positive message.
Yeah, to talk about his relationship with Jesus and the world's relationship with Jesus, it's like, oh no. I didn't get into Kanye till a bit later. My journey started with 50 Cent. That's when I got into the training.
It's very funny because there's a lot of people where it was either one or the other.
Yeah,
for a lot of people.
especially for our age group.
Yeah.
Especially for our demographic. Because I
Slow,
think that's when, for us anyways, across from America, that's when rap started becoming very mainstream.
Yes.
Like that Eminem, 50 Cent era in the early 2000s.
I'm not gonna lie, like 50 and M were my
Yeah.
Bro, I remember being in school. First of all, a little throwback to when you had to record music on your phone, bro.
Yeah, stop, man.
Like I literally
The quality of this show.
bro. Absolutely on MTV, just my phone up recording. Then one day my brother deletes all my movies.
Oh, GB.
Why did he do that, man?
I don't know. He was just a little fucker. So he deleted all my music. All my music was gone. But then there was another time where
that's a
I was
fight right
I was in school and Eminem. I think it was Eminem "Lose Yourself" or something.
That
was my ringtone. And obviously, you're not supposed to have what's called your phones in class.
Yeah.
It just goes off.
Everybody, you gotta lose your breath.
And then you're doing this in your pocket.
Yeah, teacher took my phone, man. 2 weeks gone. I was like, oh, thanks.
Boys, I gotta say this, right? Because I slander Eminem a lot, but I'm gonna say one thing, right? I've never tried heroin, but I imagine watching 8 Mile when you were like 10 was as good, because boys, it had everything, man. Had the rap battle, had the fight, sex scene in the warehouse, it had it all, man.
Rap battling each other.
Man. And the comeback story, you're like, you know, he's man, that was
My brother-in-law, my wife tells me my brother-in-law used to watch that movie like 10 times a week.
you know
It was so good.
Everything, it had everything, man.
Yeah. I remember that first. That's another one as well. 8 Mile. Just if I like going back and remember watching that feeling again, I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
When you watch it now, you're like, he's a dickhead to his mom. I was watching like,
yeah, but she was also
she put him up, bro. She had my car. That's a good man.
But she beat his up.
And then
what?
She had sex with his up, didn't she?
But like, she's still getting my gaff in the car, man.
And then
let her do what she wants.
And then the stepdad was a prick as well, and then she was like still fucking him, and she was neglecting her kids to be with the stepdad. So
Greg Buell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what movie?
That's
you know what movie I thought was class as a kid, but I think it was just the gangster shit.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, man. It's not that good.
It's not even that it's not that good. It is ass.
No.
It is straight booty water.
She's like, Marcus, I'm a gangster now, man. I'm like, man, that is not cinema, man. You wouldn't find that in Mean Girls, boys. I'll tell you this. That was straight.
Oh, wait. You know another movie, low-key classic? Freaky Friday. Man, shout out to Lindsay Lohan. Man.
Yeah,
shout out Lindsay Lohan.
That era of Lindsay Lohan.
Since I was a kid,
that era of Lindsay Lohan and the Olsen twins, Mary Kate and Ashley. I was hooked. I was hooked. When Mary and Kate and Ashley went to Paris, I was there. I was there with them.
That was a meltdown.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's go.
Their show banged.
Yeah.
The Mary Kate and Ashley show.
What an era.
Nah, man. Even what's called Little Romeo show as well. Nah. You know what? Is our kids' childhoods these days?
Shy, man. Not TikTok.
I don't know if
watching bleeding Jake Paul box Mike Tyson, man. That's all they have, man.
And
we got real stuff.
The streamers are their celebrities, like all these Kais and Nat and Speeds. I don't think they have like linear TV where they sit and they know, okay, at 6 o'clock Lindsay Lohan is on. You used to not remember the TV timetable in your head. You knew what channel to go to at what time, and we just know that they just. I don't think they're
602 TV Cartoon Network.
You just change it. Okay. Powerpuff Girls gonna be on here, and then half an hour later I'm gonna change to Disney, then I'm gonna catch Hannah Montana, then back to here, then because I'm gonna
Is there a movie or a TV show that you wish you could watch for the first time again?
Yeah, definitely, man. 100%.
Don't say Mean Girls again.
That's not a TV show, is it?
Movie or TV.
Oh, sorry.
Batman Dark Knight. Remember last week we talked about because it was the first. I remember watching it in the cinema. That's why I didn't pick that one. I remember watching that and I was like 16, so like I could actually get into it. Just watching the beginning scene of them, the first person that says the bank when they kill each other, and then you're like, I'm here. I'm going to watch this whole thing.
That's the best intro of all time.
What's the best?
Belly. Have you seen Belly, man?
I've not seen Belly. That with Tupac.
Belly?
I have seen Belly, but
boys,
I can't remember.
that opening scene is the best.
Is it Tupac was on it?
No, bro. So it was made in the 90s, right? So it was obviously because hip hop now.
Yeah, I've heard Belly referencing loads of hip hop.
Bro, it's the one with Nas and DMX and them, man.
Yes.
When they're walking in the
club.
Oh no,
that bit,
right.
No, that bit, and all the steady. Are you ready? The music doesn't even come in. What's go? They got an acapella of that track, man. They walk in, man, slow motion. This man, strip club, man. The eyes, the man, the clobber as well, man. The clothes.
I know. He's watching Belly.
No,
the whole thing, man.
No.
Jordan, you need to get up on a big screen, kill all the lights, man, and just.
I need to watch Belly.
And man, the stunts on Nas when he fucking pulls up. Man, it's. Cinema,
yeah, because I've heard Belly reference obviously in loads of different rap songs and loads of different lyrics.
Do you know what's mad though? Like if you watch it, like if you're like, I think it's like 37 on Rotten Tomatoes or something. If you're a film critic and you watch that, objectively it's kind of shit. But man, the thing is, For me, man, top 10 in terms of how it looks, man.
Yeah.
You know, because I love a music video, boys. Hype Williams.
Yes.
He made the film, man.
Oh, did he?
So the whole thing is like one big Hype Williams music video.
To be fair, that intro scene is a music video.
Bro, it's so fucking good, man.
Oh wait, did you give your not a blockbuster movie that you love?
I would say it's what's that funny one with Bradley? What's Bradley Cooper?
The Hangover.
Hangover. Was that Blockbuster?
That was huge
that's
as
a
well,
Blockbuster.
bro.
Oh, then I don't know. I thought Blockbuster were talking about like a big franchise like
Explosions
Top
and shit.
Gun.
Yeah, but that was that.
Like the original.
The Hangover. Okay, maybe the original.
Like the first one.
I actually have a pretty good one now. Good Will Hunting, boys. Have you seen that?
Hey,
film?
Yeah, I've seen Good
Sick,
Will
man.
Hunting. Yeah, Good Will Hunting is good.
Fucking
Great
great
film.
movie. Yeah, and you know what?
It makes you feel fucking
my
emotional,
English
bro.
teacher showed us that.
Yeah, a lot of people used to watch
yeah.
that
They showed us that
or
as a school.
Shawshank Redemption.
That's deadly.
I saw he showed us Shawshank.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. A lot of people in my school anyway. Some teachers were showing
boys,
Good Will
that
Hunting,
film.
another one showing Shawshank Redemption.
Whoa.
That the end of that film, boys. I actually, when I was younger.
Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire. That's the one. Where
Robin Williams.
Williams. That
Yeah.
he couldn't see his kids, so he
Bro,
dressed up as a nanny to get hired to spend time with his kids.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Oh.
That,
Plot, man.
What's
I'm
called?
sorry, what a plot.
yeah.
This is a personal one. Stomp the Yard.
I haven't seen it, man. Oh no, the dance film.
Yeah.
Where Chris Brown
Chris
dies.
Brown dies like. Do you know what he does? I turned it off. That's for this one. Right here.
Man is all up in the promo. 2 scenes and he's dead.
Fuck this one. I'm gonna watch this again.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a movie that made me fall in love with Megan.
Oh, I thought you would have been. I thought You Got Served would have been the one.
Nah. You know what? I think I've seen You Got Served like once, maybe twice.
Do you remember Ayomida Ayodeji that used to live in?
Yeah.
They used to every time you're in the house, they'd be watch. Every time I was in the house, they'd be watching You Got Served. I watched that movie like because they were my next door neighbors in Minute. So I watched that movie like 15 times unwillingly.
15 times.
Because my neighbors, every time I go to their house, they're watching You Got Served. I was just like, I'll just watch it with them.
But that's, I think now
actually gas,
that the internet is so accessible, we've lost appreciation for art.
Yeah.
I think because we
Say it louder, bro.
You sound like Ron.
I sound like such
Why
a
did you
hipster.
ruin it, Jordan?
No, you're right. I sound like such a hipster. But you know, because like before, back in the
appreciation for
days,
art.
you'd watch something and you watch it over and
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I've seen over and over again, the Bratz movie. Don't ask me why.
Really?
Bro, I've seen it so many times.
I think I had it on DVD.
We had it on DVD, and when we moved into our new house, all we had was the DVD player and 2 movies. Bratz was one of them, so it was going off.
But here, do you know what's really funny about that? When you had only 1 or 2 DVDs or a video, it was. Do you know what I've saw so many times? Well, I was like 6, man. The first Spider-Man film.
Yes!
No, handshake. Because it was on video.
All these cassettes we had, so I watched that. And then not recently, maybe I joined the pandemic because I was rewatching a lot of shit. I rewatched it again. I was like, still slaps, man.
I saw it in the
Still
cinema,
slaps.
man.
Yeah.
Seriously, because you talk about Ron Hipster, Ron, I'm calling out on this podcast, man. Ron was like, Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man.
Give a bleeding. You said that as well, didn't you?
No.
Des, don't be doing it, man.
No, I never said that. I said
I hate his
I said
haircut,
Tom
man.
Holland is the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think
hands down.
Tom
Holland?
He's the best.
You
hands
think Tobey
down.
Maguire is?
Bro, Tobey Maguire, man. No, say what you want, man.
The guy's like 30, acting to be 16. Relax.
It works. He's a great actor. But no, the thing is, right? Say what you want, man. He was a loser, man. He was a loser. He was. Wait. You have to let me get the point in, man. Because it's important, right? He was a loser, man. And when you watched it, you're like, oh, do you know what I mean? And then when he done the whole thing where he turned, the whole Uncle Ben thing, great power comes great responsibility. He was a geek, man. And then he gets all these powers and he can't tell anybody. The love of his life falls apart. I feel like crying even talking about it, man. That was a film. That was a film, boys. We have lost it now. People are watching Jake Paul box Mike Tyson. Boys, this is what I'm talking about.
Nah. Let me introduce a fuck. That was
Yeah,
good.
man.
Anyways, we are here. We are charging.
Bang, bang.
This is the podcast with the highest level of analysis culture
go.
needs. I'm Daddy J, but you mans call me Jordan, and I'm here with.
You know it's your girl's favorite voice, Big Dej Nigga with the Midas touch.
Come on, who we got here today?
Yup, Mickzart, Spider-Man 3, what's good?
At least I was clean.
Yeah.
You didn't overthink it. You just said it, and you just got it. Round us.
I didn't prepare for this, boys. I wasn't even supposed to be on. Today's that. You trying to hop on? I was like, yeah.
Anyways.
Ron has been here multiple times and he fucks it up every time.
Every single time because he
Every
overthinks it. He wants to come across like smooth, cool guy. Just says it.
Just be the hipster you are, man. Just say, hi, my name is Ron.
Just say my name
is
is Ron. I'm a hipster.
I think Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I think Ron just likes to be different.
No, he does, bro. The thing is, Ron, love you, man. I love Ron so sound, man. Genuinely, he's a fucking bloke, man. I have all the time for Ron. But Ron, when it comes to like stuff like that, man. What was the other one he had? He had another one. He's like, nah, man, you's made J. Cole pull out the beef. That was the other one he had. I was like, Ron, knock it on the head, mate.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this whole thing again.
Look, I have a Forest Hills Drive Ring, man. One of the best albums. J. Cole, one of the best rappers. Is he a bit of a fanny?
For that move, he was a bit of a fanny. I said it there. I said for him to go on stage to say I lost sleep because of this beef and I couldn't sleep because I didn't want to lose. And then after doing that, making a song saying, "Oh, but if I battled, I would have won." Shut up, man.
I'm just laughing because I haven't heard the word fanny since secondary school.
Shut up.
Sorry,
but
man.
this week we had to make on because we kind of want to talk about this, and we know Mick's a big music fan. We'll get into your music as well, Mick, after a while.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. Sounds.
And this week we were all minding our business. I think it was whatever day it was earlier in the week. Anyways, everybody's minding their business. I go on the timeline and I see, oh, Kendrick dropped. I'm like, Kendrick dropped.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this. I'm seeing a single. I'm like, yeah, this calm. Let's go. Then we get a whole project. Straight away, I'm playing it. 30 minutes in, I'm going around my house shouting, "Monster!" To the point that my wife is sick of it already, but she can charge it.
I have to say one thing, man, because I stuck it on, because I didn't hear about it, man, because I had a show that day, and like I was so busy, man, so stressed. Curtis comes in, he's like, Kendrick dropped an album. I was like, what? Like, couldn't believe it, man. I got home, like, I was bollocks, man, like, absolutely. Put the headphones on, man. I just pressed play. All I heard is somebody just whacked out my mural. I was like, I just knew it was gonna be good, man. I'm like, he's pissed off here, man.
You know what?
Man, what a fucking way to start an album, man.
And you know what? Like, one thing I hate the fact that some of my favorite rappers don't like to rap. Like just fuck everything else, fuck the artistic shit, just rap.
Yeah.
And that's what he came on.
Yeah. I always say that when there's a beat and you're just barring it, and even he said it on that first song, he says, "Fuck the doubles entendres. I want you guys to understand this." I'm like, yes, Kendrick. Don't make me think. Just just say what. So what did you make of, like, let's say, like, the project as well? Because you're a big Kendrick fan, yeah.
So yeah, I'm a huge Kendrick fan, bro, and I backed him the whole beef as well. So you can attest to that.
No, you can't, because at the beginning, I got it wrong. I wasn't feeling euphoria at the start.
Yeah,
I got it massively wrong, but you were like, no, this is a good song. But
man, so that was the thing, because normally with a Kendrick album, we're only talking about Kanye there, man. There's normally a big vision, a big concept, a story. This one, he's just like, nah, fuck the lot is, man. I'm just gonna come on and spit, man. I love it, man. It's all I've listened to since it's dropped, man. I love that. I don't know. Once I heard him talking about the mural, man, I was like, and the whole thing about he's like, the irony, my hard work, like Lil Wayne down. When he said that, I was like, and here, man, the fucking TV off. Man, what the fuck are these beats, man? And that one as well, Peekaboo, man, where he's like,
Peekaboo.
Boom, boom, that's money wouldn't understand. When he says that, man, it's in my head. Man, I walk around the gaff just saying that out loud, man. And same with Euphoria, man. There was so much. I don't know what it is with Kendrick, man, in this new era of Kendrick, but his stuff just stays here, man.
And I think that was, I had a similar reaction to, like, what they just saying earlier. Usually, like, Mr. Morales was him trying to tell us, this is what I've gone through. I'm unpacking my life. I'm unpacking my life. I found out that my uncle, my auntie's transitioning. I've been cheating on Whitney, and I've dealt with infidelity. Stuff about his dad. Like the
time track, man, that was
the fighting, like the video where he's arguing with his missus. People don't like. Maybe because Mr. Morales isn't the album that you can put on any song from, because you have to. I actually like Mr. Morales, maybe because I like the whole thoughtful storyline thing.
Do you know what? It's a brilliant album, but it's like you wouldn't just.
Yeah, there's no song that you can just say, let me just take the song.
That's my biggest gripe with Kendrick, though.
Yeah. You have to be pensive. Like that.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like if you're gone, like, when it came out, man, I just don't think it was the right time. A few months later, then I hit fucking Rock Bottom Boys. I stuck the album on, I was like, this is brilliant. You know what I mean? It kind of comes in waves, but I think, like, he's still doing
Man on
Push Them Off Me, like it's Silent Hill.
Yeah.
There was still like Silent Hill. There was N95 as well. Like, he still had a few songs.
Oh, even on this one, what's it called, Man on the Garden? It's still like, I Deserve It All. He's still kind of telling. Kendrick will still do Kendrick, but I think what I enjoyed the most, it just felt like it felt like the feeling Cole gave me 5 years ago, where Cole just wanted to rap.
Yeah,
like that's how this one felt like. He just wanted to be like, I want my flowers. I want everything. I'm just gonna, and that's. I really enjoyed it. I'm even going through it. The first listen, I was like, So far, I've enjoyed every single song, and it didn't force me to think too deep. I think sometimes that's what Kendrick does.
I see. The thing is, I was listening to, because I haven't listened to the full thing properly yet, but I was listening in the car today. Yeah, and reincarnated came
with
on.
the fucking
With the
Tupac flow.
I had to relook.
With the Tupac
Actually, it made me go listen to the Bible. No, you think I'm joking? I'm being dead ass. I'm being
The Bible,
bro. I'm being so serious. So I'm listening to it, yeah, and he's like, okay. First of all, Tupac flow immaculate.
Man, he done it so well.
He sounds
yeah.
like, obviously his voice is different, but he sounds like Tupac.
Nah, but when he goes reincarnate, that was like 10 out of 10.
He got that. He bodied that shit.
What a legend,
but then the first one, he's like, oh, he grew up in Michigan or whatever. His dad kicked him out. He was great at music, whatever.
I know what you're gonna say here, bro.
Because then I was like, who the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
Then he's like, okay, he got killed. Yeah. Then he got reincarnated. There's a black woman that could really sing. Yeah. That is that's like hooked on drugs
or something.
No, it was heroin. Yeah. That's hooked on heroin and all this kind of shit. She died. I was like, who? Because I'm in my head. I'm like, is he using real life examples of people that had died and then got reincarnated? Then he's like, came back as Kendrick Lamar. He's like, okay, so now you're you. And then he starts talking to God, and it's like, oh, you're the fallen angel, like you're the devil. And I was like, did you just say? You're definitely reincarnated.
No.
And then he was like, something like, he was telling God like, oh, I'm letting all these organizations get paid. I brought all these gangs on stage. I'm trying to end war in Compton or whatever. And God's
he's like, but you love war.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
yeah, it says no, I don't.
But you love war, and that's when I knew that this guy's fogged.
Yeah.
No, and you know what it is, because this guy said he really said even on the first song he was like, leave me alone. Like I stayed away. I was a loner, and you guys didn't like that.
Yeah, he said I stay isolated in my house. They said antisocial when I stayed in my house. But even on Euphoria, he says if you take it there, I'm taking it further, and that's something you don't want to do.
And then the little when he done that, I was like,
and you've made a good example. Some people, and I also noticed this about you after we had that conversation about like forgiveness and I realized, oh yeah, Deji for the most part stays in his corner, minds his business, doesn't annoy anybody. So for him to get to a stage where he holds against something against you, you must have actually pissed him off. Yeah. Whereas like I antagonize people, so I know if I've rubbed someone the wrong way, I get it. Like because my missus is the same. My missus like, remember I was telling you she was kind of like you, but I'm like, oh yeah, because for the most part she stays in her corner, she minds her own business, she's not seen by anybody. So for her to get to a stage where she's pissed off, something must have happened. So I was like, oh yeah, that's what Deji is like. That's what when this whole thing drops, like Kendrick's like, I mind my business. I don't want anybody. But if you guys want me to go there, I will go there. So I had a better understanding of like, oh yeah, some people
of who he is.
Yeah, some people mind their business. They stay in their corner. So for you to get them to a point where they're pissed, they are pissed. They are pissed.
I know Dave is listening to this episode pissed off.
What?
Oh yeah, he loves Drake, doesn't he?
Dave is like, why are you guys sucking?
Well, no, here, hang on, let's talk about this. Drake sued Blade in his label.
We'll get into that.
They cannot back that, man. That's not hip hop, man. Imagine Nas was like, oh, Jay-Z, you talked about me, man. Yeah, no.
We will get into that. We'll get there, yeah.
And here, by the way, man, just while we're on the podcast, I actually thought Family Matters was a phenomenal diss track. Man,
we've said this all the time.
It's actually, do you know what, man? It's probably one of the best rap songs of the last
of this. Man,
it's so good, man.
Every time I've said this, and I just think what led Drake down was a strategy. No, because I think Push Up and Family Matters were really good.
In fairness, man, Kendrick was like the chess king.
Yeah, because he couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up. Yeah, I think Push Ups was really good. Taylor Made was a good like. No, you're gonna see this through. I liked why he did it. I like why he did it.
But it was so bullshit.
Yeah, I like why he did it. He was telling you you're going because you're not gonna go hide because Kendrick likes dropping and hiding. Yeah. So Taylor Made was like,
no, but the whole
you're not gonna hide.
I didn't like the whole Tupac AI.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought that was real disrespectful.
Because even he referenced that he said I was shocked when Snoop Dogg shared Taylor Made. It must have been the edibles. Like even Drake, Kendrick didn't like it, but even as in totality,
he did say that.
Yeah, even in totality, it's like for him to be this consistent this year. Yeah. It's an example of like saying like it's good that he followed up on the momentum. He didn't have the won the beef. After he won the beef, he did the pop-out show. He did the Not Like Us videos. He got the Super Bowl and he dropped. I was expecting after Not Like Us, after the beef, I was expecting him to dip again for 5 years. But it's like hate in his heart has made him take music seriously again. He's like, I'm not hiding for 5 years.
Because the thing is, right, I feel like the way my view of this is Kendrick and Drake. Why I love this beef, man, because there's so many different sides of it, man. You can look at, I suppose, Kendrick's like, he's for the culture, he's hip hop. Drake is more mainstream. You can also look at like the industry versus the art. There's so many ways you can look at it. But the one thing I will say, man, is where it's different is when Kendrick puts out, because I think Kendrick's always working on music, bro. I just think he's very particular. He's very like, I'm not putting this out, I'm not putting that. And when it does come out, it has to be like this. Whereas Drake is like, here's an album. Drake. This is the thing, man. Drake is so consistent, man. Kendrick's more like, man, I don't know. Kendrick doesn't play the game, let's say. Drake is like the ultimate player of the game.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those situations where Kendrick really cares about the art.
Yes.
And it's like he wants to create these bodies of work and all of this. Whereas Drake is, not that he doesn't care about the art.
He wants to be the biggest.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Drake's thing,
and
man. Yeah.
with being the biggest, you got to be consistent over a certain amount of years. And I don't think there's been a year that's gone by that we haven't heard from Drake.
Yeah.
And to do that over almost 15 years?
15
Oh,
years,
it's so impressive, bro.
Yeah.
It is. And you have to give Drake.
And then it's not like whenever he did drop, the attention was low over 10 years. Whenever he dropped, Drake dropped, and people still check for it. Because it's not like he lost attention. Let's get into this now. This now is the first time of this year. It's the first time like Drake started dropping stuff, and I feel like it's not making a dent in anything. With the 100 GB thing, he dropped a fucking video on Instagram.
Yeah, but
and I just didn't think he made it. I was like,
what
I
it
just
is?
didn't.
You know what I think
Jordan's right about that.
But you know what I think the problem is? I think the problem is, remember what I was saying in the group chat? It's like he went into a fight, and like they always say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
He got punched in the face, and it feels like he hasn't regained composure. Now
he's trying to sue them. Man.
No, the suing will get there.
We'll get there.
But I feel like that doesn't have to do with the beef. I think it's just unfortunate timing.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. However, I think it's just one of those situations where I feel like he's trying to distract us. Yeah. But you're not distracting us in a clear, concise way. Whereas Kendrick is like, okay, now I've got this. Okay, I'm going to do this. 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 And it's, you know what I'm saying? It just feels like well thought out and like methodical. Whereas I feel like Drake is usually thought out and methodical. But right now, he's
flustered.
Like he's just throwing shit out.
Even the thing in the club where he's like saying, one day you're going to see people are going to switch up on you. And then he leads into the... Like, he's just doing things. Man,
that was Drake's version of J. Cole when he was like... We gotta love each other. And then you made love yours. That was Drake's version.
And then like going to the DeMar DeRozan game and saying if you put a banner, he's just doing things that are like, again, I've said it to you. I did not think this would do what, and you said it to me. It's like, this beef seems to be different. I thought it'd be like the Pusha T thing. You lose the battle, but you are still as big as you are. It won't really make a difference, and will continue to go on. But this, in the last 6 months, I've seen like, Drake's image or perception publicly, and he was at least this year, shifted a little bit. It shifted more than it has probably since in the last 10 years.
Oh, we called him a certified pedophile, man. And there's people screaming at fucking arenas.
I just thought this was... I just didn't think they would do anything. I'm not gonna lie.
Can we talk about this? First of all,
it's hilarious.
I'm not a Drake defender. I'm not a Drake stan or whatever. By any means.
Smith, what's up, man?
However, right, from what I have understood of this lawsuit and stuff like that, it feels very necessary.
You think?
Yes.
What? In a rap beef?
No, forget. This isn't about rap beef.
I think it is, man.
I think it is. Defamation.
No, it's not defamation.
No, he did sue him for defamation.
But
he sued twice. The first one was racketeering. The second one was defamation.
Defamation. Once again, you can't be calling me a pedophile, you can't.
Man, it's a rap beef.
But that's different, right?
What?
Like,
do you hear what Tupac said about Biggie Smalls?
Yeah, but you know what the difference is.
They said niggas used to get shot in a rap beef.
Yeah, man. He said he fucked his wife and called him a fat cunt. You don't see them in court.
Yeah, but the difference is if it stayed within the culture, that's different. It's crossed over. It's no longer. This is commercial now.
Rap is. Like that, rap is huge now, man.
But rap has been huge. What's called Pusha T and Drake's beef. Yeah, I think Pusha went worse.
That was mainstream.
That wasn't mainstream though.
I was.
None of the casual Drake fans cared about.
It was on the news and all.
None of the casual Drake fans cared about Pusha T shit. Just because it was on the news doesn't mean
that's Drake's fan base, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But now his fan base cares. So it's crossed over from being about who's a better rapper in the culture into the mainstream. Bro, you're going to go on the Super Bowl where there are hundreds of millions of people watching, and to call me a pedophile.
Do you think that's why he done it?
100%.
I think he's looking at the Super Bowl and is like, listen, 100%. This is the nail. Like.
That's why I don't agree with that. It's something to do with the beef. Let's break it down. Yeah. So Drake has a legal. It's a legal petition. I actually read into it more. It's not like do you know what I mean? It's not like a lawsuit. It's a legal petition. It's like a warning saying, yo, because I know you guys did this, I might file a lawsuit. So it's like one of those. What he's saying is what Drake is saying. He's not suing Kendrick. He's not. It's not against Kendrick. It's against the label and Spotify. Yeah. He's saying that
first case though.
Yeah, the one that I read into says he's saying that what's happened is Spotify and the label they inflated Not Like Us. So it'll be like my friend Sam or something said, like you'll find Not Like Us on anime playlists, you'll find Not Like Us on indie playlists. So they've
indie playlists.
Yeah, allegedly. So they say he says the label and Spotify conspire together to inflate the song and then blah blah and then to become what it is. Yeah. Now, my pushback on this, and this is why I don't really believe him. I remember listening to Russ on Flagrant 2 ages ago. Russ says what the music, the music industry does is, regardless of the artist, this is common practice, and they would have done it for Drake. Remember when Sprinter was out, and Sprinter was one of the biggest songs in the world that time, even like last. If it had 800 million streams, like legit, the label what they might do is maybe inflate by another 200, 300 million. So if you see Sprinter, if the big song already has 801 billion. You're not really going to be like, you're not really going to question it. So this is the practice they've done, and this is a practice that even Drake has benefited from. Yes. My gripe with Drake is now, if he did it when he was the guy, and he was on top, and this system was benefiting him, I'd be like, you know what? Fair. You actually stand for something. But the fact that he said he's doing it now, and he's saying like, oh, you guys do this practice, I'm like, I don't believe you, because you didn't do it because you want to fight. If for me, anyways, it doesn't look like you want to stop Kendrick rather than you want to fight the industry. Because when the industry was backing you, you didn't have this. I cannot not be skeptical of the timing. Of course, bro. I cannot not be skeptical of the timing.
There's something to say in this as well, because I saw a post on Instagram and it was like Drake when Scorpion came out, and it was every Spotify playlist. It was like happy hits, something from
God's plan.
Man, his face was on every single playlist on Spotify.
Okay,
but you know what? I'll say one thing, right? And this is actually in Drake's defense, believe it or not. Because he's been there, he probably can see behind the curtain a bit. He
of course.
See how the machine works.
I agree.
He probably knows what he's on about,
that if they say Not Like Us was inflated, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. But my argument is they do this for everybody. Yeah. And they've done this for you, Drake. You can't I can't look at you saying you profit off a system, and when the system goes against you, now you're standing up against the system. It's flaky.
Megan Thee Stallion got caught.
Okay, let me give some pushback, right?
Let's go.
First of all, when that happened, Drake was already the biggest male artist, full stop. Yeah. So Spotify as a service, we're gonna put your face everywhere. Yeah. Because you're the most valuable asset.
I agree.
Your most valuable asset.
I agree.
Like on every playlist though.
Let me land.
If I'm trying to sell a service of you can get all the good shit here, I'm going to put my most valuable asset in the most places I can put it.
Perfect.
That's that.
Yeah.
First of all, this isn't about people need to. This isn't about standing up for what's right, or whatever. This is about you're fucking with my money now, and when you fuck with my money, something's got to happen, right? Now the problem is Kendrick is not the most valuable asset.
What is the most valuable song this year? What is the most valuable song this year?
Let me land.
No, because go on, land.
Let me land. Right. Kendrick is not the most valuable asset.
Okay.
Kendrick has been quiet for a long time.
Yeah.
And Kendrick, when he decides to pop out, he pops out, right?
Oh yeah.
With this. Now, remove it from the rap beef. So the label owns part of Spotify. So much so that they're telling people that work in the labels, you can no longer buy shares in Spotify because that's insider trading.
Your man Rory said that, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then also the label gets a percentage. I mean, the label charge Spotify licensing percentage for every song that pops, right? So now you're telling me that the place where I have to sell what is my bread and butter, you can inflate and deflate however you want to make it look like.
Yeah.
So
man.
Wait. Yeah. Now, apparently, Drake's out of his deal soon, and we're renegotiating. Yeah? I'm the biggest artist in the world. You got what did you say? 400 million to me. That's even a low ball. That's a low ball now. Okay, now so
Who's
coming
next on the list.
Which one of my soul cards?
So now we get into a rap beef, and you know that this is calling me a pedophile. You know that's gonna fuck with me. So the same way that you can inflate his numbers, why, if you can inflate the numbers, why can't you deflate the numbers?
No, they can't.
And then on top of that, so you're telling me to make the pot a little sweeter for Spotify, we're going to reduce the fee that you have to pay us by 30% so you can play it even more. At what point is it like, once again, I don't care about Drake, I don't care about the beef. Yeah. At one point is it like, okay, you know what, that's some fucked up shit.
No, that's wrong.
If that was in any other situation, somebody's going to jail.
Nothing you say with there in terms of like, the only thing I disagree with is like, the only thing I disagree with is like, yes, he is their biggest artist, so he was bringing in the butter. I agree with that point, but this song, the biggest asset this year in terms of like what song was Not Like Us, so they had to inflate that.
But the point is it the biggest asset because we made it the biggest asset?
Can they say the same about Drake?
There was people
can they say the same about Drake?
There was people in India, man.
Yeah, but
singing that at a wedding, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's okay,
yeah,
man.
but
That's
the thing that we need to realize is that for the most part we're all sheep.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The things that people want to push to make the biggest things is what ends up being the biggest things. That's why people that are independent always say, no, when you have the machine behind you, it's different. You're gonna be played on radios more. You're gonna be doing this more. You're gonna be doing this more.
Sabrina Carpenter.
So if
man.
also
Sam Smith as well. Man.
also so I'm in a legal battle with these guys. I know what my worth is. I've been like everybody says, I've been on top of this game for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And then now I have a lot of people that don't like me in the industry.
Yeah.
And why is it far-fetched to say
No.
why is it far-fetched to say the song was big? I'm not taking anything away from the fact that the song was big.
Yeah.
It was a hit, man.
You saw that. Okay,
Did it inflate it? Yeah, I agree.
This is the thing that like what's called, like they would say people everybody celebrates when you make a God bleed kind of a situation, right? This is the thing, is that okay, right? It went from being here.
Oh my God.
Let's all conspire to get him the fuck out of here.
Well, do you know what, man? When you said that, man, something just light bulb. Two things, man, that we haven't brought up. That I literally just remembered it. What did Kendrick do with that song? He broke 2 of Drake's records, boys. Most streams in one day and fastest song to hit 100 mil. They were both records by Drake.
Okay.
And Kendrick's after smashing those records with this song. That gives Drake even more ammunition to go into this.
There's nothing that you said in terms of the business aspect.
Yeah.
I see the business side of it, and I see how. I agree, the business, because when Russ was explaining on Flagrant, and they were like, oh, if a song's already big, they can just make it bigger. And you won't know the difference between 500 million and 700 million if the song is as big as Sprinter or Last. So nothing that you said from the business aspect, completely right. I understand why a businessman or even Drake, my thing is, I can't remember last week I asked you about like remove work from your life and how you can make it happen. You say it has to come in tangent because because of the timing and because of the songs listed within the petition or whatever he said. To me, it looks like you got a bit salty because this system that you were profiting and benefiting of, even if the labels are profiting and benefit more, you're the main guy. So you are profiting the most out of every artist. So when you were the guy profiting the most and enjoying it, yeah? For example, say Apple, they're the biggest company in the world right now. They're doing fucked up shit with the cobalts in Congo. Yeah? So if now Samsung goes and does the same practice and Samsung starts benefiting more, and Apple looks at them and is like, yo, that's bad business practice. We don't stand for that. Even though they're right.
That's exactly what I expected to do.
Yeah, no, but even though they're right, I cannot look at it as like, yeah, but are you doing this because it's right, or are you doing this because Samsung is beating you? Like, I have to look at it from those eyes. Yeah, I have to, are you doing this because it's the right thing to do, or are you doing this because Kendrick has one over you now?
Jordan, we sat here last week and we spoke about why am I going to, I don't care if I'm benefiting. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything. At the end of the day, I'm here for me. Yeah. I'm benefiting from this.
Yes.
And I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat I will eat until I'm full, and then I'll eat some
more. And that's why I agree. And that's why, for me, it looks like, from the business point, I agree with you. Like the example I used, we can benefit from D&I in work, and if someone gets some more money, they knows we're like, yeah, but we should be a merit based. It should be on D&I. It's like, you didn't have a problem with benefiting from diversity and inclusion when you were the beneficiary. If I start saying it because someone else is the beneficiary, even though I'm right, it looks like I'm saying it because I'm salty. Okay. So I cannot look at Drake not through those lens. I have to look at it as like, you're doing this. If it wasn't for not like, because if he did it, even if he did it for Ed Sheeran, perfect. And he said, oh, you guys are making Ed Sheeran the number one. They made Ed Sheeran the number one guy. And he was salty about that. I'm like, you know what? If they inflated Ed Sheeran's number and he's taking your spot and you don't like that because they're insider trading, I can understand. The fact that he's doing it to Kendrick and not like us, for me, I can't. I usually give people the benefit of the doubt. Not this time.
No, but
not this time.
Like once again, I hear you, and that's why I said,
and I hear the business side. I
think it's right suit, wrong time.
Yeah.
And once again, and it's one of those. It's bro, I'm dropping gems, bro.
No, you nailed it, man. You nailed it there, bro. Yeah.
Because
I'm not gonna tap that, man.
No. I agree with him in the business side. I completely agree. Like when I saw Rory make the video and Mal says, but I don't want him to paint as like, as if it's like some big Drake versus the corporation thing, without also acknowledging
he was the corporation.
If Family Matters, if he had this run of Family Matters is the biggest song, he got the Grammys and he's getting all the Oscars. I don't know if he makes the same petition if he was if he had the upper hand.
Yeah, but
I don't know if he does.
Yeah, but Jordan,
I don't know if he does.
Jordan, how many times do we see the person on top go against what's actually happening? The person that's benefited from what's happening.
Yeah,
like, that's we know this.
Okay, fair enough. I think we agree.
Jordan's point here is pretty good though, because it's like, right, Drake is now, for the first time in a long time, it's not looking like he's on top, man.
Yeah.
He's dropped so many songs, man, and none of them have really landed like a Drake song.
Yeah.
Kendrick puts out this thing, everyone's like, rah! and then straight away it's a lawsuit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
It's kinda
I have
mad.
to be skeptical.
no, like once again, I'm not sitting here saying that.
Lawsuit,
I'm
boys.
not sitting here saying that. Like Drake is on the moral high ground, whatever.
Yeah.
He probably is salty.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this
But
I don't.
he's right,
I don't
though.
even.
He
But
is
no,
right.
he is right. In the
But-
business sense, he's right.
You know
Yeah.
what? Let's say he's right. He's right.
Because you know the thing for me that fucks it up is like you already the record label owns your music.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
record label also owns the place where you distribute your music. So at what point they could
No, you're right.
The fact that it's Drake is the only reason they can't turn off his lights.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else,
Yeah.
we would turn off your shit.
And that's why we've been seeing loads of Instagram drops. That's why Port Antonio from J. Cole was on Instagram. Kanye started releasing on Instagram. That Drake video that he did. A lot of things have been, even 100 GB. They've stayed.
Actually interesting.
No,
bro.
I got these points from
Rory
Joe
Moore.
Budden. Yeah, I go with this. So that's why
Still
they,
interesting,
yeah,
man.
that's why they've come up with these. They're doing all these Instagram drops and new solutions. So they're not putting it where the label and the end.
Yes.
Like I understand. And to be fair, we always say this: you need the biggest dog to fight the industry, and you do need, because if it's a smaller artist, let's say if it's a 21 Savage, they're like, you don't even make that much money for us.
Yeah.
We can switch off a lie, but you need a Drake who's like 400 million worth to fight the battle. I agree with that.
Because
Part.
like if you actually think about it, right? So the record label, you give me a loan that I have to pay back, and then I have to pay this back through my album sales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
First of all, you guys have already agreed that a stream isn't worth shit, so I have to get like 100 million streams to make any money off this, and then you decide that, hey, you know what? We don't like how you're moving.
Yeah.
We're going to increase how much Spotify are going to pay us to play this song, so Spotify play you less, and then also we're going to make sure that you're not in any playlist or anything like that. And also, out of that money that you get back, I think only like 20% of 20 or 30% of what you actually sold is actually
you will be snapping.
like 20-30% of what you actually sold is what is getting paid back on your loan. At what point do you say, okay,
No, it's really
what is
unfair,
the
bro.
fucking point? Of
No,
all this?
it is really unfair on the artist, and it's good that Drake stood up. But I would have been less skeptical if he did it at a time, not at this time. I just don't believe.
Let's be honest, man, it
That's
was
my only gripe.
directly after the album dropped. Do you know what I mean? Kendrick dropped an album, Drake dropped the lawsuit.
And is this a way for him to also divert attention from the album, or because like you're saying, he's done a few things to try to get us to get our attention, to get people's like he's even going on streams now and everything.
Yeah, but
we say one thing,
come
though,
on, it takes more than a night to get all this ready.
Yeah.
Like let's be fucking for real. It
But
takes
to
more
bring
than
it
a night to get all
public
this
though,
ready.
man. You could have had this public about 2 weeks
It was
ago.
gonna. It was. It's Drake. Anything he does is gonna go public.
Or
true.
or is it a thing like he was expecting? You could have had this already, but he said Kendrick's gonna drop at any point. I could drop the next.
Yeah,
time.
but
You know what?
also, but the
he
thing
would
is,
have a bit of no as well, because they're on the same label, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sure, Drake could have a night out like, Kendrick. You know what I mean?
you say this, but what if like Drake's already not liked? What if it's like the people that are really making these decisions? Like there's somebody that doesn't like Drake that's like,
You think so, bro?
100%.
In the industry,
100%.
I think Drake is the golden boy of that industry, bro. Did you never see the video of Lucy and Grains? Have you seen this?
No.
He goes, whatever Drake asks for, I give it to him.
Yeah,
He's
but
the best.
yeah, but the thing is, you say that changes after 5 years. When like look at Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy was the guy who was all of this.
But he was an absolute dealer, though, bro.
The minute he bit the hand that fed him, he's in jail.
Yeah.
At what point do you start looking at Drake? It's like, bro, you're getting a little too big for your boots. And it's like,
I like that angle because that's what, remember Diddy, I think it was a Ciroc that he sued or something,
Yes.
or Bel Air, and then he won the lawsuit, and all of a sudden everything starts crumbling down.
Because
I like that.
Deck of cards, man.
Yeah, I like that conspiracy.
when it was views, he's still the golden boy.
Yeah,
you're putting it everywhere, whatever.
I think he
But
still is, though, man.
I don't think he is.
I
bro.
don't wait right now. No, but man, even when that For All the Dogs album came out, though, bro, I feel like even then he was the gold.
I
That
think
was
since the
everywhere.
beef, and I've said it, since the beef,
Yeah.
perception on Drake has changed a little
We
bit.
say one thing as well, right?
I don't know if they told me
Yeah.
it would, and I didn't really believe it, but I see it now. I see it
no,
now.
one thing that was so interesting about the beef, right, was that once it kicked off, all of Drake's, his mates, you know, all the people that he made songs with and all, man, yeah, we actually hate it as well. You know what I mean? There's like, yeah, fuck you. Like Rick Ross, I think 21 Savage is kind of in the middle. Even Future, man, he done the bleeding track with Kendrick, number one song.
Yeah.
Industry friends, bro.
I know, man, it's so shallow, man. And you know what? This is the beauty of Kendrick, because on the first thing he goes, man, people thought I was anti-social when I stayed in the gaff. He's like, you're all pedos. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what, he's like, they're all bad people. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But-
I respect Kendrick a lot. I think.
No, yeah, it's
Hold up, man, fuck it. Like, I mean, this isn't a music podcast.
it is a music podcast.
I know,
but yeah.
we've really went in there.
Yo, quick question, yeah. I was watching TikTok the other day, and it was like a Am I the Asshole, right? and the guy was writing in on Reddit or whatever. He's like, is he the asshole because he hates his son and he wants nothing to do with his son, kind of situation.
Jesus.
So what happened was, since when his son was young, like his son just always been a prick. Like when he was young, he used to bully other kids, like broke a kid's arm on purpose. Jesus. Like felt no remorse for it, and his parents were like, oh, they just thought it would be like a phase that he kind of grew out of or whatever. He starts getting older, starts getting disrespectful, as in steals money from his parents, not like stealing like a little quid or two here, like went to their bank account, drained everything. Maybe he's
addicted to drugs though.
I don't even think he is. Well, they didn't say anything about it, but went into their bank account, drained all their money and everything. And when they confronted him about it, it's like, okay, he just shrugged his shoulders, like, okay, kind of a situation, cheats on all his girlfriends, all of that kind of shit. I'm
telling you, man, that's an addict right there.
Man. I don't think it's an addict.
That's rehab.
But the reason why I'm asking, is because now his dad is like, I want nothing to do with my son. I want to kick him out, all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
At what point is that your fault?
Yeah, I was thinking also like, what was the upbringing like, and also are some people just born a certain way that there's no saving them? Because I don't want to believe that because I
think that's I do think that though.
Freaks, man.
That's the thing, because you see some people with the good parents, good upbringing, and the parents are trying their best, and they're just their makeup.
Yeah,
like. I have to see how they parent. I have to know how they parented him and what they did, because sometimes you might just have a bad vibes kid.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Bad vibes kid.
There are definitely bad vibes kids. Yeah. No, because the part that kind of like made my spidey senses sting a little bit was when it's like he broke a kid, he like bullied other kids and broke a kid's arm on purpose. Yeah. And you said, oh, you thought it was a phase. Bro, that's some shit you need to cut out straight away.
Yeah.
Phase in the UFC.
It's like if you have like if you have your kid and you just see your kid strangle a cat, you probably have to nip down the ball.
No problem.
If you don't see your kid, you're like, do you ever watch Dexter?
Yeah, I watched the first season. And
like because he was just killing animals, and then the dad in Dexter was like, we have to find a way to channel this energy to something else because
I was straight. If you're a cat strangler, man, you need help. Man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you don't see your kid do that, you'll just be like, but this is probably not a good thing.
But then again, I do think like environment is huge as well, man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people grow up in the council estate. Well, yeah.
Go on.
But you know what I mean? Like a lot of people grow up like rough, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people get dragged up, man. Do you know what I mean? They don't. Some people. I know it sounds like fucking making an excuse, but a lot of people barely have a chance, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all really lucky, man. We're all really lucky
true.
when you think about it, that we fucking had a decent upbringing at least. Do you know what I mean? Nothing was perfect, but nothing was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what I'm trying to say is like there is some people who grow up in like mad situations, and I think a big thing as well is like with the fella had a dad, man. Do you know what I mean? Like
and a mom, they were both parents. That's why I would like to know more about your upbringing, because usually in those situations you kind of trying to be like, what's the upbringing like? Yeah. Who was at home? Were both parents at home? And what job were they working? Because sometimes all of this is for kids, especially, to cry for attention. Because you're working 14 hours a day. Because we don't know the context, so I'm just trying to like make my own context up. Because you might be working 14 hours days, the mom might be doing it, and you're not. He could be feeling neglected by his parents who are supposed to give him attention, and he's trying to find other outlets maybe to get this attention from his parents. So sometimes they have to look within and be like, okay, what are we doing? Are we doing enough? Because what therapists will tell you is like, it's a cry for attention. Like, what does he need? Are you guys taking him to football? Are you taking him to practice? Are you actively participating in this kid's life to see what he needs? Like, take him to therapy and you go with them, and there's probably a whole lot of unpacking, because I don't want to believe, maybe because I have a kid now, that kids are just born this way and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there's definitely something you can do, bro. But I do feel like, as well as that, going a bit of a spiritual one here, but I think to some degree, man, you are who you are a little bit
I believe that.
Born. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, because I think we briefly had this conversation, but like, I have a little niece, man. And she has such a young kid, man. She does really stupid stuff to make herself laugh. She like, my sister was saying she's in the creche and she just runs up, all the kids are asleep, and turns the light on. And she's like, ha, like she finds that gas. I'm like, she's like a proper baby, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I feel like you do have a bit of a everybody's different, man. Yeah, but I feel like you do have a bit of a personality. You have certain things before you're even born. I believe this. Yeah. But then I think, your environment, how you're raised, it's a big part of it. But I do feel like if you're breaking people's arms, it's probably not the best.
No, I agree with that, because there's a certain level of mentality that some people naturally have. I think some people, they have a natural discipline that they don't need to be taught, or they just know how to get shit done. And some people have to work on it a bit more. And you could like there's the Malloy twins, and I remember I was watching one of their podcasts, and you could tell that their twins were mentally one of them is just, I would say, mentally a bit stronger, a bit more disciplined than the other. And even though they're twin, it was like, oh, that's just his makeup.
Yeah.
I don't think he's any different. Like, he was just born and made that way, and that comes naturally to him.
I fully understand that. I think drugs, though, for that story, bro. I think there has to be an element of cocaine in there, man. Draining your parents' bank account, just going, yeah. That's yeah. You know what I mean? Big fucking rake.
Speaking of growing up, how'd you go?
Let's get into you, Mick.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
So, boys, it was good being on charge into the game, man. I'm gonna go. Bro, I don't know if I'm up for like a live interview right now.
No, it's not like a live interview. Just like your child. Where did you grow up? Like,
so I kind of moved around a bit. I think I was always kind of D12 centered, man. So it was Walkinstown. I was born. Then we moved up to Tallaght for a bit.
Yeah.
Was in Tallaght for a few years. That was mad. Moved to Kerry then briefly for like 2 years.
Mad.
Yeah, Kerry was really nice, and then it's been crumbling
ever
since.
Okay, so crumbling. How did you told us how you started listening to music and started listening to Kanye, but how did you actually get into music and you do like, you know what, this is something I actually want to do?
I think, to be fair, man, and once again, I haven't had time to think about this answer, man. I didn't know I was coming on. So if this is a bit shy, I'm sorry, but I just feel like there was specific times for me, bro, where I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, man, I don't want to give a sob story on this podcast, but there was
just
times,
tell your story.
Yeah, there was times where like life wasn't the best, man. There was a lot of bad stuff going on, and I always felt like I had music to kind of fall back on, man. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, don't know, man. I just feel like I'd listen to music and I feel all right about stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then there was certain times, because people say this as well, where it's like, if you're happy, you hear the beat. Yeah. If you're sad, you hear the lyrics. Yes. And I just remember, man, it's a mad one actually that this is the album, but my cousin was like, she was able to burn CDs. And she's like, oh, who are you listening to? And I was like, I started to listen to like Nas and Jay-Z. You know what I mean? This is when I was like diving in.
Yeah.
And she burned me a CD of Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z. Man, right? I remember sticking that in and just listening, and I was like, there was like bars that he was saying about like, he's like, my bread is like the butter, they want to toast me. And I was like, what? Because I was like, you know what I mean? I always liked English in school, but I was like, this is English, but it's way cooler, bro. Yeah. And it's also like more creative. And there's, you know that song 22 Twos, that one?
Yes,
where he switches his flow every 2 lines, man. And I was just like, this is so creative, man. I was just like, it's a whole new world, man. I was like, then I started to love it. And then obviously Nas then, man. I think Illmatic was a big one for me, man. Because I was like,
I only listened to Illmatic in 2016 when I was doing my internship. And listening to it, I could be like, I understand why this was like the template album for hip hop. You know I get it. I understood the instrumental. I was like, oh, I understand why. If you listen to this album, you understand the genesis of why hip hop was meant to be.
Jordan, you nailed that there, bro. Fucking for everybody watching at home, that was brilliant.
Hip hop by far is my favorite genre, and that's why 2024 Kendrick, I love him because hip hop was getting to a place where it wasn't necessarily for me. Everything changes. Like I do enjoy the gonna fuck you mean, but it's not really my style of hip hop. He brought it back to like a competitive, lyrical beats.
The roots of it, man.
Yeah, he brought it back to that, and that's why I'm like, I enjoyed it again. But up to this, like the Ice Spices, the Megan Thee Stallion, it was a variation of hip hop. That I didn't enjoy. But this time, like, he brought it back, and I can like I remember where it was when I listened to Illmatic, and I was like, I get it. I get why this is a classic album because it encompasses, especially the beat selections for some of the songs. Yeah, but go on, sorry.
But no, so for me, like, and that was the thing when I first listened to it. I don't think I fully got it, man.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is mad. Like, do you know what I mean? The beats, I wasn't really used to the kind of boom bap sound. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I was, because at the time, you know, it was 50 Cent, Eminem, Kanye. This is a bit different. It's a bit all that. But I remember it was the Reasonable Doubt album, man. I don't know what it was, man. I really talked to it, man.
Sometimes things just connect.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's the thing about music. Sometimes it just encapsulates you, and you don't know what it is, but you've taken.
But you know another one, man. It's a funny one, but you know, like the Dead President song, Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah,
and samples Nas.
Yeah, Nas. Yeah.
So I didn't get that line, bro, and I went on to Rap Genius because I'm like, what's he talking about? I'm looking for dead presidents to represent me, and it's like on the dollar bill, it's always a dead president, and I was like. I was just like,
and then in the disc it says you made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
Man, like, I was just like, I'm in love with this, man. And then like as the more I listened, then I got back into like Big L. Fucking love Big L, man. Mobb Deep, all that kind of 90s stuff, man. And I don't know, it made me appreciate how people put stuff together. Like, and Biggie Smalls as well was a huge one, man. There's a track he has, it was like an unreleased freestyle. I can't remember, Wickedest, I think it's called. But he's like, he had this line that was like, MCs, he says something about money that he's making, and he goes, MCs break fast like flapjacks and bacon. And that was just rap that. I didn't really know what it was.
That's a bar.
One day I was just sitting in class, man, and I was just rapping it, and I goes, I got it. And I was just like, there's no other musical genre where that happens, man. And also, it's not just that, bro. I also loved the style of it. I loved the message. I loved where it was coming from. Do you know what I mean? I really took to hip hop, man. Really, like, I dove into it. Go ahead,
Do you guys have any bars that after a couple of years you're like,
oh yes, what is it?
Bar? I give my one. What's called maybe 2 years ago. I remember actually on that Wayne verse that I was telling you, he's like, if you got straps, we can trade like the Dow Jones. Yeah, I never got it. And then I got my iPhone, and you know when you swipe to the left and then you see the stocks and it says Dow Jones, I was like, oh my god, we can trade like.
Oh, there was one recently. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one recently. I think I watched a movie and then it wasn't that I got it recently. And I was like, I'm Nino in this thing. It's that New Jack City meme. And I was like, I remember watching New Jack City, and I was like, oh, that's it, yeah. Like, I mean, and even though I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
Bro, that was one.
I didn't get it for ages. I was driving to Pfizer one day. I said, no, he's a business. He is the business.
But man, see
those
that?
kind of lyrics, yeah.
This is one thing I love about hip hop, man, because that's so clever. Bro.
Yeah,
like, that is poetry, but it's like But man, the thing that separates hip hop from me, man, as well is flow. Like, because you can sing something, you can do this. When you're flowing, bro, it's like you're using your voice as an instrument, right? You're like going with the beat. You're doing things in like a rhythm, and then on top of all that, you have all these like clever, creative. I don't know, bro. I really, really took to it, man. You know.
Okay. And then when did you start actually making your own music?
Yeah, so that was way later, man. So I think I started to kind of write raps, and what I was doing as well was I was on YouTube, man, and I'd listen to an instrumental, and I'd like type a rap under the thing, and they're shite, man. If I could go back there, like, I say they were so
yeah,
bad,
but you have
man.
to start somewhere, like,
yeah. But I remember one time I wrote a rap, and I put it on, and it got like 16 likes or something, man. And I remember feeling like, oh. I was like, I was born to do this. I was like,
this is my calling.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like the one, right? But then it was like, I just never had the self-confidence or the self-belief to pursue it, man. Do you know what I mean? And I think I was only having this chat because we done an interview there on a radio show on UCD just the other day. Your man doing it was 19, man. And I was like, listen, man, I'm so happy for you, bro. And I'm kind of proud of him, man, even though I don't really know him that well. But he's been really supportive, man. Shout out to Limo if you're watching, man. Really supportive of what we're doing. But I was just like, man, when I was that age, I feel like if I was to rap, I'd get slapped in the face, man. Do you know what I mean?
I rapped at that age. I rapped at 15, 16.
Did you?
Yeah.
Verses out there, man.
I think I put one out. It's still out somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Show me, bro.
Fuck that. Like, do you know the Hello Good Morning beat? Hello Good Morning. Yeah. I rapped on that with like Dave's boys back in the day.
No, Sway in the morning, though.
Yeah. No, I used to, like I said, I love hip hop, and I just wanted to try it. And then I just, after that, I was like, do you know, it was one of those things, like, when I did it, I was like, I don't really want to pursue this. I just wanted to do it.
Just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, just for the sake of doing it.
That's completely fair, and I think it's good as well, because it should, like, I do think some people have that mentality where it's like, if I chase this, I have to give it my all.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't have to be that, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Yeah.
Sometimes just do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, literally what I did it.
Because that's what we said. If you love it, man, and you have an appreciation of the bars, the whole thing, making songs can be a great way to express yourself as well, man. I feel like because of the album we done, I actually feel like I know myself better as a person. Do you know what I mean? And like, I wouldn't have got that otherwise. Do you know what I mean?
And you've done an album recently.
Yes.
You called it Custard
Cream Dreams, man. Yeah.
Why?
Because that's the Nanny's Gaff type of vibe there, bro. So that the Custard Cream Dreams is basically Nanny's Gaff being back in Crumlin. Essentially, the album is like me and Kev made it. Shout out to Cadillac Legend. But basically, what the album entails is like, it's the two of us, and it's sort of like us growing up in Crumlin. But as we grew, the world around us changed, and so did the area, man. That's where you come into fucking Sundrive with the Kimmigification. Do you know what I mean? The fucking all this bollocks about not be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we're at now, it's just like life now. There's just some bullshit. But what I was saying is, with the album, anyways, man, it's like that's really where it comes from, and it goes back and forth. You have a question there, Dad?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about secondary school. What was secondary school like? And like, obviously, we've had a lot of black people on this podcast, obviously. And when I speak to them about secondary school, it's usually like, microaggressions, this,
racism,
that, racism, whatever. But obviously, you're different. Like you're Irish, you were born here, all this kind of stuff. What was secondary school like for you? And
how you navigate in the world as a teenager.
And also, a teenager that loves
That
rap.
loves
when
rap.
everybody was on techno.
And was that even like black people around you or like growing up or whatever?
Butchered, man.
How many times have you been called a wigger?
I wasn't gonna say it. Yeah, man, I did get that a little bit, man. Yeah, and it was, but this is one thing, man, that I'll give myself a little pat on the back for, man. Even when I got butchered, boys, I always done what I wanted to do, man. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm actually good at that. I think if someone like, even the way I dressed, boys, like I remember, what did I get, man? I got like, I had this t-shirt before, man. It was like my sister got it for me. She used to work in events, and it was like, what was it again? I actually can't remember what it was, but I remember it was like gold and all the thing, and it was like a DJ deck. I was like, oh, this is cool. Literally got punched square in the face, man. No, what the fuck's this cunt wearing? Not in school though. The school I went to was actually pretty nice, like relatively good. But like, it was a difference between, I think Crumlin at that time was a lot. Once again, I don't want to give this story if I have this hard.
No, it's all right.
It's not a story. Like it's just. It's just what
Definitely overthinking.
No, bro. I think like, to be fair with me, I feel like, yeah, first year was definitely tough, man. Didn't really, because the school I went to as well, man, I didn't really know a lot of people, so it was kind of, I had to try and make friends, and obviously that was the thing, man. I wasn't really into, like, a little bit of sports, not really. Music was my big thing, man, and as I said, I listened to fucking Nas now. You know what I mean? It was a bit tough there, but then in second year, man, a fella called Cameron Steele, man, I can't remember how, I was friends with him on Facebook. He was like around the area, he was in my year, legend, man, but I saw he put what song did he put up, man? It was a Nas track anyways, and I was like, no way, because I'd never met anybody that even knew about it. And then I was like, bro, like, I saw you had that up. He goes, do you listen to that? And he was in the same boat, but Cam was like pretty more popular at the time, whatever, right? But me and Cam clicked, and then I feel, I don't know, man, I feel like, truthfully, man, like, now is the thing as well, back then, I don't do it now, man, but you'd smoke up, man. And I feel like, I don't know, this is one thing I miss, man, it's just going out, man, getting blasted, man, and just listening to fucking 90s hip hop, man. It was beautiful, man. It was so, I have such core memories of that, you know. But no, I would say like, like, I think for me, I wasn't really too into school. I liked English, as I said, but I was always, I don't know, it was a weird thing. I actually feel like I was a good, like, one of my English teachers pulled me aside one time, and there was 2 instances of this, man. Once I done like this, there was a debate going on, and like the first round I went in, man, smashed it. And then the next round I was like, oh, I don't really want to do this. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I don't know what it was, man. Just
confidence,
I was like, I don't know. I found it hard to put myself out there, man. Do you know what I mean? In different ways. And with the debate as well, I was just like, oh, I don't want to be seen as, I don't know. I overthought a lot, but I did.
So how did you then find it easier to put yourself out there now? Because like, as you're saying now, you're a white guy rapping.
That was strange as well,
like how did you then find the confidence to be like, you know what, fuck, I'm just going to do it?
So for me, man, I think it was really a thing where we started to kind of, I was in Mitch's nanny's gaff, man. It was pretty funny. They had like a little side room, man, and he had like a record player. And it was one, that's the thing as well. I always wrote raps privately, and they'd only come out if I was smoking or drinking, whatever. And then I was freestyling as well for a bit, man. And I remember one time we were all out in the park, and don't say our man's name because he's a cool guy, but we were just all started, like, go on, Mick, do a rap, yeah. And I was saying something at the there, and then I was like, I was saying something like, we're chilling at the log, and then I was like, going down to the vet because Brenner's man's a dog, and everyone was just like, and I was like pushing and screaming. I was like, you know, I was doing this. But I feel like little moments like that propelled me. But I had a few times where I choked and stuff as well, man. I remember being at Matthew Dugan's gaff, man, and his brother and all over there, they're like, oh, let's freestyle like 8 Mile, you know, just holding the mic like, you know what I mean? So like, you have things that give you confidence and have things that not
humble you. Yeah.
But with me, I think, we all started just to do it like kind of privately or whatever, and we go up to Mitch's nanny's gaff, chill out, and I had this, my ma, God bless her, man, she got me this record. I had a record collection for a while. She got me this record, and it was from New York, and it was can't remember the DJ's name, but it was a compilation record of all these different beats, and like he had mixed them together. So we put the record on, we listened to the beats, and we just start, you know, see where it goes. And then eventually it was like, you know, you do it a few times, it kind of gets better. I remember being at a gaff then. Same thing, man. I could only do it when I was kind of fucked up, man. But I'd show one or two people privately. But there was one rap I done where I felt really good about it.
This is the one.
Do you know what I mean? And I showed someone else, and someone else was like, man, what the fuck? Like, they were like, that was mad. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that was kind of mad. Like, I haven't done that before. But then I think what happened with me was it's a weird thing, boys. Like, once again, we're getting spiritual once more. But like, I always had this thing where I felt like I knew I was gonna do it, man. Because even in when I worked in Costco, man, I remember just like weird little instances. Like, I'd be like, I was in the back store and I'd accidentally call it backstage or something. Then like, backstage, and I was like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I'd scurry off like, ah. But then it was like, this is the thing. The next job I was in, and that was when I finished college and all. I'm a humble person, man, but like the job I got was good. Like, I was, especially for the time, I was making good money, man. It was a great job, man. It was a massive opportunity for me, man. It was crazy actually that it actually happened, man. It was pretty mad. The fella came into the shop to buy smokes, and at the time, man, I was like, I need a sales job. There was this guy, man. We're gonna give a bit of a story, will we? Fuck it. There was this American guy, man. Lived above me in the building, man. This is like some film ash now saying out loud, bro. It's so weird. You know what's in your head and then you say it. But he was like this chap, always came in, man. Just seemed like you had cash, birds falling out from all this stuff. You know, when you're like 18 behind the deli, you're like, this is what I want to be. You know what I mean? You know the exact point. Scarface, you know, he's washing the dishes. What do they have that I don't have? One of these kind of things, right? But I was like, what do you do? Like, what's your job? He's like, sales. And then he's like, man, because I'd always be a bit of a talker, man. I'd always be pretty chatty. He goes, man, you're a chatty. Like, you could probably do it. I was like, do you think? And I was like, I put it in my head. I was like, when I get through college, that's what I'm going to get into, man. And he's into, like, the law of attraction or manifestation like that. Yeah. I think I don't know. I was seeing a few things about it. And I was like, I'm going to try this. So, like, it's crazy, man. I wrote out, like, you know, the goals, what I wanted, this and that. And I really put it into practice. I was like, right, I'm going to try to sell stuff now. So in the shop at the time, there was these bicklers, and they were like £2. But then there was one, I think it was £3, but I had like an Irish thing on it. There was one like an Irish breakfast. There was one like shamrocks. There was, you know, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the ones with like the special wrappers. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. But I was like, right, for practice, I'm going to start to try and sell these. So people would come in, and it was like coming up to Paddy's Day, you know, all these Americans coming in, they're like, oh, can I get a lighter? I was like, yeah. I was like, do you want this or do you want this? And I was like, man, if an Irish girl on the street asks you for a lighter, you're going to want this one, you know. And I was doing really well, man, and I started to proper get into it. I was like, man, maybe I could kind of do this. But what happened then was one day, man, this guy came. I can't believe I'm telling this story on a podcast, man. This is so strange to you, man.
Okay, this is Charger. We have range.
Yeah.
We have range on Charger.
No, I respect it, man. This guy comes in, man, one day, and I'm in there, and as I said, I'm in this mode, man, the headspace, all of it, man, because I feel like your mindset is so important. If you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, it's like the things you think about. I do actually believe that, man, they kind of come into your life a bit. This is mad, man. So, I'm there. This guy comes in, he's like, can I get a box of Benson Hedges gold? And I was like, and I said something stupid, man. I was like, oh, the gold. I can't even remember what I said. It was cheesy and anyways. But then I was like, you know, you could get like, you get like the 24s or whatever, man. And I was like, you have a few more, you know, if the boys ask for them, whatever. And he gave me this look, and I thought he wanted to jump across the thing and hit me a spinning elbow, man. He's looking at me. He goes, you looking for a job? And I was like, yeah. What kind of job? Sales job, man. Swear to God. This guy was over from the UK. He worked for, maybe, I don't know if he worked for, I forgot to say, Deliveroo, it's not a food company.
Yeah.
He was like, I work for these guys. I build sales teams. That's what I do. So he's like, I was in Singapore. I built up the sales team there. We're looking to build one for the Dublin office. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, this is actually what I really want to be doing. But I went for that job then, man. And I got that job. And it was, I swear to God, boys, I think it was purely, like the interview went well, but I think it was because I had the degree as well. Because when you bring up like, I studied in UCD as well, man. Okay. But I think when you bring up that, it's like, UCD, I was there. It's just this door that opens up.
Yeah, man. Relatability.
It's very strange, man, but it worked in my favour. Got that job, but it was a strange thing, boys. I felt like even when I was there, man, like life was great, man. The cash, the fucking, you know, being in that job, getting the, you know, went from a dusty pair of headphones to the big Sonys that I still have. There's somewhere here. Do you know what I mean? It's like life got a bit better, man. Started to eat out a bit more. You know what I mean? start to do more. Things happen.
You start feeling yourself, and all the
life has color.
Bro, no. You know what it is, yeah.
It's so funny.
That feeling when that first paycheck hits, and you walk into a store. And you're like, I could buy anything. I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could buy anything.
Even two of them.
Went online, man. New jacket, new shoes. Look at me. Yeah. But that was the thing, though. It was, once again, it was a strange thing, boys, because I felt like, even though I was doing that, man, I'd still always be thinking about, like, rapping on a stage or, like, you know, yeah, man, rapping to people and, like, I don't know, man, it was just...
Is that like, not to cut you off, is that like a gift and a curse at the same time? Knowing in your soul really what you want to do, what fulfills you. Yeah. So sometimes it could be like a bird.
Even a fulfillment thing.
It was just like,
Jordan.
okay.
It was just like I'm meant to. It's weird. I can't
that's
really
that's what I
explain
meant. Like, some
it.
people are lucky. I think
Very
Dana
strange.
White says he's lucky from a young age. He knew exactly what to do, and a lot of people don't have that feeling. They don't figure it out, and they just go through the motions and they just live life. Yeah. But it's not like. Do you think it's a good thing? Like in Dana White's case, he knew like I want to be in the fight business, and he pursued it relentlessly. Whereas you also like whatever I do, I could have a good job, make good money, work for a good company, but I know what I'm meant to do.
Really
do you find that like sometimes like I wish I didn't have this burden because then I could just we sell it to Fortune Igobor as well. We look at him, we're like. You are just meant to do music. I can't imagine you in an office. But he says, and then he said sometimes it's like sometimes it's great, but sometimes I wish I could just wake up and have an easy day and not pursue this music thing and just live like a normal-ish life. But because my soul, for him anyways, just follows music, it's like it's a gift and a curse because he has to put his all into it. Whereas sometimes he feels like he didn't have that feeling of pursuing this.
It's a very interesting question, Jordan. Good job there, man, with that one. You're doing good now, boys. I'm enjoying this. You're doing pretty sick.
But even
I've never talked about this. Like, it's very strange.
Even with that guy, like I think like people recognize talent and. It might seem like nothing, but from his point of view, it's like 99% of the interactions you're gonna have like that is like, I want this, and say, yeah, cool, here it is. Where you're like, all right, cool, you want this, but you could spend a $5 or more and have this, all the reasons and all that kind of shit. So it's kind of like, especially if you're somebody that you can spot talent. Sometimes you spot talent in the tiny things, not the massive thing. Because at the end of the day, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to talk to him. You could have just given him like you took it on your own initiative to be like. Instead of selling these €1 things, I'm going to sell these €3 things. It's exactly
so
the same.
weird that I'm talking about this openly, boys. I'm still not over that. I wasn't expecting this. I thought we come on. Oh, Kendrick, have a laugh. Give it out.
No, we did that. We did
autobiography here, boys.
We did that.
Well, I appreciate it, boys.
No problem.
To be honest, that is sick, and I think it comes back to like I know when Charlemagne said it, like thoughts become things.
Yeah,
it always stuck with me because like you know when you just have something in your head and like you imagine it, you don't even know exactly what you're imagining, and then 3 years later you're like
you're in that moment.
Oh my
you're
God.
Sitting in the moments that you always dreamed you thought about. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Bro, there was a real trippy moment only recently, man, because that friend I was telling you about, Cameron, shout out to him, I'm a bloke, but we've been friends since then, right? He moved off to Canada, but when we were younger, like certain artists, we like once again, man, 90s underground shit that like people wouldn't really be too up on. Did you ever hear of Master Ace? Do you know him?
No.
There's a song he has called Nostalgia Buzz. Give that people at home, man. Such a nice track. But we listen to a bit of him and be like, this chap is real sick. He's underrated. And I remember, same thing, man, because we be talking about, like, you know, it was always like, oh, we should make music. But, you know, we never done it. I remember the other day, man, because Cam's back from Canada. I was like, come to the studio and all because I want to do something with you, da-da-da-da-da. We're in there, man. And I got an email off Gav Byrne. If you listen, shout out to you, man. This guy, man, Gav, he's in Rush, I think so. He's in Ireland, but he set up his own thing, and he works with a lot of 90s artists. He goes, man, can you listen to this track? I just want a bit of feedback about the hook. I said, yeah. He sent me on like an unreleased Master Ace track, man, right? And I was sitting there with Cam, and we listened to it, and I just looked at him, and I was like, bro, this is like really, like, if you think of where we were in school, bro, like, as two teenagers stoned out ahead in the park, listening to Master Ace. Look at this, man. I was like, we're in a studio, man. We're listening to an unreleased Master Ace song. And this is what I'm saying, boys. A lot of the times I don't take the moment to appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I actually did there. I was like, because that's the thing as well, boys. I feel like a lot of times, like, just as people, man, we look at what's gone wrong. We look at the cost of everything. We look at the political situation. We look at all the other bullshit that's going on, and I'm just like, sometimes it's nice just take a minute to be like, man, do you know what? That's actually mad.
Yeah, I thought of this a moment like this now to actually live in. I think I was having this conversation with Tommy and Dij.
Bro,
and
it's
it's about
a
living in the
beautiful thing.
moments. I'm like, so I'm fortunate that I can be good in that, and I can sit in moments and be like, do you know what? This is a moment that you thought about,
You do
you
that
dreamed
frequently,
of.
Jordan, yeah?
If I'm in a moment, I thought
Yeah.
if I like, it was a little moment. Like when I first moved into my house, my
bro.
missus and I used to go on a walk, and I used to see people sit on their front benches. They would have a bench at the front, just in the sun, having a drink.
Yeah.
And I just said to her, I was like, wow. I'm gonna have a moment where I'm gonna go to the garden. I'm gonna sit my son on my lap, and I'm gonna have a beer in the other hand. I'm just gonna be in front of my house just for my son. And then I did it, and I sat there and I soaked it in. It's like such a little thing. I was like, it just looked cool. They're just there in their front garden, just sitting there in the sunshine. I'm like, wow, this looks cool. I was like, and I said I was specifically, and I said I was like, I'm gonna do it with my son. I'm gonna sit in it. And I didn't do it
That's
until I had a
beautiful,
son.
Jordan.
And
That's
then
beautiful, man.
I didn't let that moment just pass. I was
Yeah.
like, and I think I documented it on Snapchat and everything. I said, this is a moment I said to Simi, I'm gonna do this. And just to be in it, as little as it is, and that happens to me frequently. I said I was gonna go to the garden and watch a Knicks game.
Yeah.
I went to the garden and watched the Knicks. Like these little things, I always say it,
Deadly,
and when I do it, I'm really good of like
Yeah.
sitting in those moments.
Amazing,
and like,
man.
I'm not gonna let this just pass and be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not like the type of, oh, that's cool. Next thing, I was like, no. I'm gonna
Soak it in, yeah.
soak it in as
Well,
long as I'm in the garden.
That's so healthy, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like that was the thing as well, man. It's just like it's kind of a pressure thing, and you know yourself, boys. Obviously, you do a podcast. You put yourselves out there publicly, man. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like where you think, because I think it was the end of 2022. I think it was, man. I just had this thing. I was like, man, like it's not. You know, I'm not real. Was it 2022? I think it was, man. I had a bit of a burnout or something. I was just like, listen, man.
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be. The numbers aren't that. There's not this. And man, then what I done was I went through my phone on Instagram and just my my gallery. And I went through, man, and I was like, man, we had this show here where we played with these people. I was like, I met this guy here. We done this. We dropped this song. And man, then when I went through it and looked back, I was like, man, I've had it for myself. And I was like, I've had a huge year, but
Yeah.
I was just so focused on the numbers aren't there, like this and that. And I'm telling you, boys, like sometimes I think we briefly had this off the camera as well, man. It's like when you play that game, boys.
Yeah.
I feel like if you win that game, you're only gonna want more, man.
Yeah.
And I think if you lose that game, you were like me there, you know, feeling sorry for myself. Now I won't lie, man. Like the numbers are a bit better, da. It's cool, but at the exact same time, man, I'm like, when I see good numbers, I'm like, okay, nice. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not. I move on. I'm like, what's the next song? What's the next project? What's the next show? You know?
Can I ask you a question? Yeah.
Of course, bro.
From being in a place where you're working in Delhi, you're saying, I want to be in sales.
Yeah.
You finally do it.
Yeah.
You're making good money. You're
Yes.
feeling yourself. You know,
Yeah.
you're getting the nice, expensive headphones.
Yeah.
You know, you're adding the whatever to the car, whatever you want. Whatever you want to. How does it feel to let that go?
One word. Redundancy.
I didn't make the decision. It was, hey, sometimes the universe has a way of telling you things. Sometimes the universe has a way of saying, yeah, chase this music thing.
I'll tell you why, though. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why I agree with what you said. Because that was obviously a little joke there, but it was true. But because what I wrote on this sheet, basically, man, there was like a number, a monetary number I wrote. And I was like, listen, I want this by this time. When I got the redundancy pack, it was the exact amount that I had wrote on the page.
Jesus.
So to me, in my head, I was like, that was meant to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes things are, sometimes they aren't. But for me, I was just like, right. And when I took that, I think I became a bit more spiritual, boys, and a bit more like have a bit of faith and there's more out there. Because what happened then was I was like, okay, I'm clear. This is the path now I'm on. So straight away, man, I was like, listen, I'm going to get right into this music production. Because I was making beats for about 2 years. Shite beats. They're bad. But then when this happened, I was in the gaff. It was over COVID. As I said, I had a brief understanding. Like, the beats I was making weren't good, but then I was like, YouTube. Basically, what I done was I switched the mindset. I was like, okay, rather than doing this 9 to 5 for delivery, I'm going to do it for myself. So I was like, from 9 to 12, I would try and figure out how to produce. Then I'd take a break, and I'd come back, and then I'd spend an hour trying to, like, write, and then I'd spend 2 hours learning how to mix. So it was actually, like, a lot. But boys, I won't lie, man. That was like a crash course, but really got me into production, and then that was the start then, really, man, yeah.
Because you already had the money from the redundancy, you weren't pressured to get a job straight away, so you can actually focus on the craft of doing things.
And man, and I'm just going to put once again to appreciate a moment, man.
Yeah.
Very, very rare opportunity, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It just felt like things were lined up for me to try it, you know? I miss the money, man. I do. You know what I mean? I miss the cash, to be fair, but I do feel like where it's at now, I've grappled with it where it's like, I want to get to a point where I could work. Because obviously, man, now at the moment I'm in the studio full time. Look, you get money comes and goes, man. I got paid off royalties actually recently, man.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually got paid off royalties, like official job, man. Imro, what's it? But I got that.
When you, what was the feeling like? Because you know what it is, yeah. I find it interesting when people get exactly what they wanted, and then you get there and it's like, how was it when you get the job? Because obviously when you first get the job and you're finally there and you're happy, the money lands, you're gassed, but then law of diminishing returns, it starts feeling less and less good and less good.
Yeah.
By the end of it, were you still happy in that situation, or was it just a fuck it, I'm just here in it?
No, there was a lot of it. So the thing is, with that job, I actually had to work really, really hard, man. So like for me, that environment would suit me better, man. Like it was a sales job, and it was at the time, Deliveroo was like the fastest growing company in Europe at that time. So it was pressure, man. Do you know what I mean? I had to really show up. I stayed like late nights in the office now, man. I tried really hard, man. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, I got the money. I really grafted.
Sales, anybody that does sales is fucking tough.
Very
sales
tough, bro.
is fucking hard.
Very
like
tough.
it's not easy at all.
Cold calling people. Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's like, I'm just from. You know what I mean? You're like, you just have to take it on the chin, Jordan. You know. But where was I going with that? The question was about how did it feel. No, so there was like a lot of issues in the job and stuff. But I always loved the job, and I always have like big respect for the company as well because of how they handled it. The guy that hired me as well was the best. But once he went, a new guy came in, and
yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
I hate when you have a partnership relationship with your manager, you get it, they get it. Everybody knows how this works, and no person's coming in trying to stamp their authority or trying to make themselves know. Shut up, bruv.
This chap might as well have been a fucking smoke grenade, man. Because when he came in, everyone left. I mean, that people started to like not retire, but like they'd leave the job. Do you know what I mean? The environment got really bad. I got moved to the England team, so that's another weird thing, man. I was almost in England, man, because the guy that hired me was from Manchester. Yeah. So I went over there, went really well. Then I got put on the English team over the phones. I was ringing into London, Manchester, all this. And do you know what? It was actually easier to sell, man, because they knew the product better.
Okay,
because in Ireland, like Deliveroo, this was, what was this? Obviously a good few years back, so.
Deliveroo was still pretty new. It's still not.
It still is not really here, isn't it? We just use Just Eat for the most part.
Yeah, I think Deliveroo is mainly in Dublin. Outside of Dublin.
Yeah. You're right. It's apparently in Douglas and Cork though. It was doing good. When I was leaving there saying this, but my point, and anyways, on that was, it was for me though. I loved the job, so I was sad to let it go. But then also, as I said, man, sometimes you just get a little sign. When I saw the amount they were going to pay me, I was like, that was the amount I wrote down, and then I was just like, okay, it makes sense. And one thing as well, I'll say, because obviously you go into music, I moved over to Berlin then as well. That was great. But when I was over there, it was like, I don't know, I saw life a bit differently, man. I was like, wow, the way people live, the way people think, club culture, friendship, like a lot of different things, man. I was like, okay. And then I was like, I don't know, a strange thing happened, man, for me, where it was like, the more I got into music, I feel like people, I don't know if they're good or bad for me, but like, a lot of friends I didn't really see as much. A lot of people I didn't see as much. And then the people I met from doing music, man, have been the best. Like the likes of Ron, the likes of Curtis, the likes of Kev, the likes of Meg, man. Just like really pure people, man. People that are good and people that, I don't know, man. It was a weird thing, man. I'm just like, a lot of shy hawks, man, vanished. Do you know what I mean? And then I got all these good people in.
They say when you find your purpose or something that you really feel like you should be doing, the people in life also align with that, because it's gonna be
Jordan, you're good at this.
Hey, okay, I do this weekly. So sometimes it does happen that you'll just find, like, for example, like, let's use, Dan as well. Dan's maybe find his purpose within the Christian world, and he's probably aligning with.
He's like dove into his faith.
Exactly, yeah. So he's probably aligning with people also of that type. So I just think, and that's why sometimes it's good to know your own purpose, and because if you don't, you'll just follow what everybody else is doing. You're like, oh, they're just doing this, oh, he's doing, because you don't know what you want to do. But once you find that lane, you'll stay in that pocket, and like, I talk to loads of podcasters now because not saying it's my purpose, but I've made friends like Tommy. I was talking to Goody, and I talked to Dave. Like, you find it's like, okay, this because I'm in that lane. So I do understand that side. I want to ask like a generic question. Just do you have anybody, like, if celebrities, sportsmen, whatever, that you kind of like maybe admired or looked up to growing up?
Ronaldinho. I fucking love him.
Or over musicians or something, anybody.
Kanye, bro, big time.
Are you talking about looked up to?
Like, not looked up to, just even admire their work or what they did, of like, so like, wow, or they got you into something that you didn't really like something before, but because of that person,
50,
now you're good.
Good shout, man.
So if you found out today, like, 50 did some fucked up shit, are we allowed to feel like let down, disappointed, or is it just like fuck 50?
No, I think you should let down, bro, for sure.
I think personally for me, because I haven't put any
stock into
that. I think you're cool.
Yeah.
But I haven't put stock into it. Like, I'm coming out here and defending like a Sam or a Dave.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like, for me, it's never been that.
Okay.
Like, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. Like, I don't see them as, like Jordan loves to say recently, I don't see them as my savior or like whatever. So, but if I did, I could fully see how somebody would be like disappointed. Because
I'm asking that because obviously the kind of thing happened. I don't want to go into it there, but if sometimes it feels like
go into it if you
the
want,
reaction the reaction is like for Connor. But part of me is like, I've watched the UFC and I like the UFC because the Irish guy was on top. So he got me into the UFC. So there is a part that's like a bit disappointed in his behavior and his carry on, and it's been like this for a while. And so it made me think. But then you go online and you feel like you're only allowed to have one reaction or one feeling towards this thing. That's why I asked this thing. That's why I say, like, you go online and you feel like this should be the only reaction. And I get the reaction. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, even Drogba is like my favorite football player, Thierry Henry. If I heard some things about him that are particularly fucked up, I'd be still feeling like that's fucked up. But I'm also disappointed, and I wanted to ask her because I wanted to bring it into like. There's people like D Devlin, his wife, or no, his missus, going fiance, whatever she is,
yeah.
Sometimes, if your people around you are in certain situations, it's best to just shut the fuck up. Like, don't say anything. I understand. Like, I get this. Stick by your man. Stick next to your man, and protect. Like, at worst case, he's cheating on you. Like, if you say whatever,
that's our best.
Sorry, sorry. That's what I meant. At best case, if he didn't do what he's accused of doing, like why he got convicted of doing he's cheating on you. At worst case, it's an essay assault. Why are you now on the time? Why are you on the timeline screaming? Like, why are you on the time? I wanted to like just say on that because I was like, I feel like sometimes I go online and things happen. And I remember Charlemagne got cooked because he said about Diddy, it's like it's disappointing to see like black idols or black icons, like Bill Cosby, P Diddy, all of these. He said it's disappointing to see black icons' life turn out this way because you were exemplary when we were growing up. Not that Connor was an example to me, because I was a bit older then, but it was also someone that I was like, oh, I like this sport because a guy from Dublin. I went to Thailand, and I said that from Dublin. The first thing they said to me was, Conor McGregor.
Bro,
so to see see that, and then to be like, okay, you weren't exemplary to me, but you were an icon of Ireland of some sort.
Yeah, man.
And for you to do such fucked up things, and you deserve the smoke. But I was just like, are we allowed to feel a sense of disappointment, or is it just like fuck Connor?
But the thing is, like the internet is making everything seem like it has to be so black and white, and it's not that. You can love somebody and hate somebody at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You can be so proud of their accomplishments, but think that they're also a piece of shit at the same time.
That's true.
That's true. Because what he doesn't take anything away from
his career,
from what he did in the octagon.
No, of course.
Like, what you did in the octagon is still what you did in the octagon. Nobody can take that away from you. However,
it makes me feel conflicted though. Do you know what I mean? Like when I see those things, I'm like, but I don't only feel this way. Let's say not that I don't feel like I feel this way. I was like, shout out Nikita Hand. You actually stood up to such a powerful person, and you saw it through. You didn't back down, and you got the rewards, and I commend you for that. But the conflict is like, it's disappointing. It's a shame that such an Irish, he was an Irish cultural icon at the time, to career and life to pan out this way, because you don't. Not that saying he's my hero, but you want the people that are iconic to kind of maintain that status. Does that make sense? Like I like the way Henry still is like an icon within football, and I want him to stay there, never do anything.
I hear that. But it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that we said last week of like, you can't expect these people to go and act how you'd act.
Yeah, that's
you
true,
know what I'm saying.
true.
Like
Fair point.
Once again, like first of all, even on that, she won the case, but 200 bags.
Yeah, 250K for
Bro, that he probably pisses that away.
But you think it's a label, though? I think some cases, winning it, when you lose a case like that, it's
yeah, but like
too much of a stain. I think.
But
I've been wrong before. I thought about Draco so much of a stain.
I hear that it's the stain and everything, but it's kind of like, so we've acknowledged that, okay, in the eyes legally, we think he did the shit, right?
Yeah. Civilly, legally is actually not guilty.
Civilly, legally, whatever. We've acknowledged that you did this thing, and the price that you put on it is 200 bags.
Yeah.
Like this person is traumatized. This person all of this, and the price that you put on it is like it's 200 bags.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a defamation case probably wins more than that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, I feel like it just kind of reinforces, like, yeah, it's great that she won and everything, but it just kind of reinforces of like, almost why should they come out about this shit?
I'm gonna say one thing on that, right? One thing that I think is interesting. I heard this now. I'm not 100% sure. I hope like someone can fact check it, maybe. But I heard that she was actually offered 1 million to not show up to court.
Okay.
Yeah. So I heard she was actually offered 1 million. So what I'd say in that circumstance is like, to her, she probably viewed it like, look, I just want the truth to be out.
Yeah, I want to hold it back. Fair enough.
And do you know what though? One thing I will say is like, she got through it. She got that money. But I don't know if you saw now, man. Like, do you know Musgraves?
Yes.
They're like a supplier. They supply shops.
Yeah.
Cut Connor. Like all his alcohol products no longer sold.
I heard Tesco did as well.
Yeah. Tesco. Do you know that he was in the Hitman game?
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Cut. So like because of this, man, it's having a knock-on effect on all his stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, I feel like that's kind of what she was going for as well.
I have a question for you, because you being the Irish guy here.
Yeah.
As he was coming up, what was the perception when, like, you saw an Irish guy on that stage, and then when did it begin to shift here in Ireland? And it was like, I don't know from your because you grew up in Crumlin and he's from around the corner. Because I got into it, but I don't really have like an Irish circle of Irish people.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are like black.
Yeah.
But as he was coming up, what was the perception, and when did it begin to shift about people?
Bro, so when he was coming up, man, it was like the resurrection of Christ, man. Like when he was on the come up, man, it was like, it was the most amazing thing ever, man. Like to me, still, man, the best come up I've seen in sports, man. Like he went through everybody, man. He was calling it, and it was like, that was the thing. He was from Ireland, then he was from Dublin, then it's like he's from down the road. And I know, like, a lot of people, man, probably won't admit it now, man, but like, he's inspirational to a lot of us, man. He was, because he kind of showed that no matter where you're from, and you're from the council, you know what I mean? It's like, you're from, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can come from a tough background, man.
Yeah.
And do, like, because say what you want, I'll say one thing, is like, what he done was, like, it was uncharted, man. Like, he was the first Irish person to even get a win in the UFC.
Yeah.
And he took the UFC to that world stage. He really did. Like, what he done was, like, no one else has done that, but sorry, but I was just coughing here. But what I would say is, like, I think the perception shifted. Yeah, man, when the stuff came out about, like, the allegations on him. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
not before that, like, when when he was like, he slapped the old man in the bar.
That was slightly after that, though,
was
wasn't
it?
I think it was, because it went around on WhatsApp first.
Yeah.
But, like, you know yourself, man, there's a lot of fucking...
Oh, because this actually happened in 2018.
Yes.
And because it only went to court now. Okay.
So, like, the thing was, at least in my experience, man, it was like everyone was still on his side, man, up to Mayweather, Khabib, and then after the Khabib fight, I think, you know...
Still been the same.
Yeah, man, but, like, when you think about it, man, because that loss, bro, there was so much venom in that match.
Yeah.
Did you see the press conference?
Yeah. He came in drunk, just talking about his religion. And I think... I always said about like Ireland, it's a very humble like place, and sometimes sometimes it can come across a bit subservient for him to be the representative, to be perceived as the representative of Ireland. Well, we don't like that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I know.
That's when that's when the shift started. Yeah.
But then what I'd say is, like, after we lost that fight, like, you know, you start. I don't know. At least I started to hear more stuff. You see the thing on WhatsApp, and then it was kind of like, okay. Do you know what I mean? You could see, and I think we could all see that he changed. Do you know what I mean? And then when he hit the outflow, I think that was like,
that's it.
That was the nail for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like, what I would say is just to answer the question you said before, man. I was really disappointed by all that, man.
Yeah.
Because I did look at him like, you know, like
He's literally from where you're from. Like, it's
man. And what he done was incredible, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the thing. Like, I followed it from Dennis Seaver, bro.
Yeah.
From that point up,
I started from Mendez and Aldo. When the first one got cancelled and Mendez came in. And since then, I've followed the UFC religiously since, you know?
that's what I'm saying, bro. We all do, man. It's mad. It's mad. But what I would say is, like, I do think that I back your point, man. Like, his UFC career is his UFC career. Yeah. Him as a person, as a man, like, what some of the things he's done has definitely been massively disappointing, man. You know what I mean? I think to UFC fans, but definitely to the people of Ireland, man. Like, we looked at this guy like the next Roy Keane. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he was the man from Ireland. And that's the thing as well, man. Because when I went off him a bit, even when I was... This is actually kind of a funny one. We'll lighten the mood now a bit, man, because it got kind of dark there, didn't it? But when I was over in Berlin, bro. when I was in Berlin, man, in Germany, I was in this gym. And the fella's like, oh, man, where you from? I was like, Ireland. Oh, Conor McGregor. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you know, he's done a few weird things. Oh, man, I love him, man. Your man's like, and all this. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I don't really like, you know, I don't really like him now as much. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, you know, he's, you know, hitting the old man the bar. And man's like, fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, look at me disgracefully. I was on the treadmill, boys, doing a jog. Like,
because I remember even during the pandemic, Ariel is saying, like, remember Conor was going to give him food and stuff.
What was a balloon? That fucking thing.
Yeah, no, he was going around giving food to people and doing stuff during the pandemic. And Ariel was saying, like, he's a beacon for his Irish people. I'm like, we don't look at him like that anymore. We don't look at him like that.
You know, it's one of those ones where when you're on the outside looking in and you probably don't have all this context and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, because like, how many people outside of Ireland really saw the video of him hitting old man and all that kind of shit?
Not a lot.
Exactly.
Like, your man in Germany didn't have a clue, bro. Then he comes up to me, man, I'm on the treadmill, taps me on the shoulder. I was like, what? How do you not like him? That's the thing on his phone, man. Germany had the cast. He was like, how do you not like him? I was like, man, like, obsessed. Like, you know what I mean? That's funny. And he's told me, he's my hero and all. He's like, he got me into martial. I'm training now because of him and all. Do you know what I mean? Like, he meant a lot to a lot of people, I think.
I wonder if the UFC would just ignore it and just...
They will, bro. Because Dana White, this is Dana White's thing. Dana White's like, you fight, whatever you do outside the octagon is you.
I don't think so.
Who has he ever reprimanded though, man?
No, that's the right word. The reason why I don't think so is because Conor's not Conor. Conor's not the Conor that we're talking about. Yeah. He's not fresh off of Aldo Conor. Yeah. What's called? He hasn't looked the same.
Look at Diego Sanchez, man. He was literally insane. He was being hung upside down, slapped in the head on OnlyFans. He was still fighting.
What?
Yes, that happened.
Yeah, but
that happened. His coach took advantage of him, man. He's still fighting.
But my point is,
especially not
with certain people and certain things, you've got to be the best of the best for people to overlook shit.
Yeah, John Jones on the speak.
R. Kelly, if he wasn't R. Kelly and dropping the shit that R. Kelly was dropping, they would have got him the fuck out of here a long time ago.
I think it's different if you're a fighter though, bro.
I think it's different if you're a fighter at the top. Conor, he might still sell tickets, but he's not the same Conor anymore. So it's not like he's the same prize that he used to be. What was his last fight against fucking
Poirier when he broke his leg?
And that just looked embarrassing, bro. Yeah. Like, I don't think he gets the same everything that he used to.
I've seen Dana forgive so much.
Yeah.
I've seen Dana overlook so much, and I still
Dana doesn't give
like we're saying in Ireland. We'll hold him accountable and we hold him to account. But to your point, outside of Ireland looking in, they probably don't even have a clue all of this is happening.
Sure, bro,
they probably don't even.
Bashed his wife. Yes. Been done on steroids about a million times.
Sure, look, Dana, you can say much. You saw Dana slap his wife on camera.
Oh, yeah. Right is there on some power slap as well. That was the worst.
Yeah, right, anyways, I think, that's it.
Man, the world's a crazy place.
Yeah, the world's a crazy place.
Make sure you stay safe and all that.
Exactly. Mick, thank you for jumping on for a quick thing. It was
impromptu.
It was Ron's idea anyway, so I asked you to jump on.
Class episode though.
Man, it was a good laugh, wasn't it?
You know what? I didn't. Not that I didn't expect you to be as like insightful and spiritual as you are, but
actually didn't. No, I didn't. Like talking about like manifestation and writing things down. I didn't expect that.
I've always had a bit of that. That's what I'm saying. I never. Yeah.
You know what though? Like, it's certain things like this that it almost makes me feel like even if you don't believe in God or whatever, there's some certain things where it's like there's coincidences and there's madness.
Weird stuff happens.
Like, bro, you sitting there saying I'm gonna be in sales and you working and getting offered a like, oh, you're looking for a job on the spot, to then you saying, I want to hit this number and then I'm gonna leave, to be like, you don't really have a choice, but here's the number you wanted though. Shit like that is like
weird, man.
That's past a coincidence, like.
But that's you're good at this, man. No, because
weekly.
because say what you want, man. I think that's so important, man, because I try to say this to the boys sometimes, and like, man, I believe in a higher power because of stuff like that, and they're just like, oh yeah, no. I'm just like, okay, but what I will say is, like, there's been other things where it's like, you know, you meet a certain, like, I'll give you another matter, man. When I went to college, actually no, well, it's done. Next time. Sure.
Go ahead, bro.
So I went to see Kanye West in
Riley Park.
Yeah, were you there?
Yeah, of course.
The fucking Jesus tour.
Yeah, of course. Kanye comes right on. Not come on. Maybe not.
Remember that, man?
Yeah.
The red screen.
Yeah, in the red Octobers.
The smoke. There's these dogs barking. What the fuck's that? Black skinhead.
My team song. And then he says, you guys might not know this song. It's one of my old ones. And he plays All Falls Down. I said, who do you think you're talking to? Me!
That was my whole life.
How dare you think I don't know that?
I remember we played Good Life as well.
Yeah.
But no, because at that, man, we're like a group of people, whatever. I think this is maybe where the spirituality thing clicked a bit as well, man. Things happened. We like met a group of people. We were chilling, years go by. Then this is when I was in college, man, in my like first year, and I don't know. It was the same thing. Like, I had a couple of friends, but there was one chap I was chatting to, Tom. He was dead sound, man. He's a lovely guy, and I remember when I was chatting with him, he was like, "I feel like I've met you before," and I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, were you at Kanye West at Marley Park?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I goes, "Do you remember your man Johnny?" There was a fella called Johnny, man. He was like a little fella, but someone went on someone's shoulders. And then he jumped on top of that. It was like Rey Mysterio, man. I was mad. But I was like, yeah, your man Johnny and all. He goes, yeah. Swear to God, boys, pull out my phone, right? I went into the pictures that I had from it. There's a picture of me and him, like, together. And then he had one on his phone the same. And when that happened, man, it was like, you can't describe that feeling, man. It was just like, and then I was like, man, I don't know. I felt like I was meant to meet him then. Do you know what I mean? Because I think college was tough as well. Because, you know, the degree I got, like, I kind of got it because my mom wanted me to get it, to be honest.
What's your degree in?
Sociology, man.
Okay.
So, like, it was, sociology was cool, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't the dream, but my mom always really wanted me to get a degree. And my mom gave so much to us growing up. I was like, least I could do, you know? Yeah. Especially that third year where I really wanted to drop out, man. It was dark. But that friend Tom, like, a lot of times, you know, college would be really hard and stuff. And I don't know, man. I felt like me and him bounced off each other and stuff. And honestly, Tom, if you're listening, bro.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my friend Sam in uni. Like, Sam got me through uni. And like, it was like because of that guy. And I would go in some days and I'm like, I don't want to go in, but like, but the chat with Sam would be great. I'm just going because of Sam.
And also, someone just to bounce stuff off.
Yeah. You like football and you like I was texting Sam all day yesterday about this Drake and Kendrick, and I was like, I miss him. I have to meet up with him when he's back for this sort of thing now. So.
Yeah, but like, because even sometimes I think about it, the podcast thing is weird. It's because, like, once again, I say I've accidentally known Jordan for like 10 years now. I remember because I was really cool with his wife, now wife. They weren't even dating at the time, whatever. And then it was like, even the way that I got introduced to the podcast, I remember getting the phone call because the lads were like, they wanted to add somebody to the podcast because they were doing a sports podcast at the time, and I was like, there's never been a time people are surprised when I speak about football or whatever. So it's kind of like, why the fuck did you guys choose me? And then it's kind of like all the people that we started it with or they started it with aren't even part of it anymore, and it's just us two of us.
Wow, no way.
And that's what I wanted to say before we wrap up. Thank you so much for your encouraging voice notes about us keep going.
I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. It really made me think about it, and I had to ask other people for their perspective because you're not the first person to tell us to keep going. We keep hearing it, so I just wanted to and I do appreciate the encouragement because that's why I wanted to ask other people what do they see that maybe I'm missing.
Well, bro, I just feel like off the bat, man. For me now, I don't really know, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of black voices in the podcast space.
Yeah, it's reducing now. It is reducing.
And I think it's important because do you know what, man? It clicked for me when I saw Kestin because he's just like, man, like, you know, I listen to you guys, and it's like, you know what I mean? He can relate to us and stuff. Like, that is important, boys.
Yeah, that's true.
And on the flip side as well, because just when we were talking about, it's like, you know, playing the game and this and that. Man, I feel like, boys, you just need to sit down and say, what do I like? Do you know what I mean? Bring on people, bring on someone from sports, bring on an MMA person, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes, now obviously you have to do it a bit, but I think if you're playing the game where it's like every week, oh, the viewers want this, the viewers want that. This will get more.
Who's
views,
gonna get eyes on us? Who has a big following that we can get on?
Here, we all think it, man. It's natural stuff, like, you know what I mean? Especially when you're putting yourself out there publicly. And as I said, there can be, at least I felt like this personally, insecurity around numbers and stuff like a year or two ago. But I feel like when you latch into like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, if you think, what is the purpose of charging? Why are we doing it? You know what I mean? Get into that mindset, because I feel like I was saying to Des as well, like you were talking about like the money side of it, and I get that, man. Like maybe it's, if you know, it can cost money and stuff.
Ron, give us free studio time. Start
Ron,
start there.
But my whole thing is like, if you stop doing the podcast and let's say you put the extra money into, I don't know, could be bleeding golf lessons or going out a bit more, whining and dining or whatever. That thing. That you have in the podcast, you'll miss that.
I get it. I get that perspective. I get, and I appreciated you saying that. So yeah, I think, and ironically, our numbers have probably been the best since we came back.
Yeah.
Ironically,
you know
they've actually since we came back to say we're finished, we've actually been getting decent numbers.
Jay-Z, the Black Album job.
Forget about the numbers as well. It's the fact that everybody keeps saying that, like, oh, it feels like we've gotten better or production has gotten better.
Definitely,
when
man.
I know I'm the person who sets this up. It's the same camera.
It's the same setup.
It's the same.
You just have a trailer at the start on the video. All you did is you put the trailer at the start of the video on YouTube.
Bro, I was doing that before.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I've been doing that since our what's called podcast of the year episode.
Yes.
I've been doing it since then. When I had a whole like back and forth with my brother, telling him like, you keep saying production has changed and things have gotten better. It's the exact same shit.
We just care less. That's how you saw me crash out on the phone. But anyways,
Well, see that thing about caring less though?
yeah.
Boys, I'm telling you, man, when you get out of your head and just get into what you want to do, bro.
No, we appreciate it.
I have said in life, sometimes you gotta not care about something to get it. Like, you know, the guys that want to get married.
Yeah.
And it's like they start doing too much. Or the girl that is like, she's so afraid of her man leaving her, being rejected or getting cheated on. She acts in the way of, now I'm gonna cheat on you, or now I'm gonna do.
See that energy though, man.
Yeah,
I feel like that's, you're like, oh.
I remember I said to one of my friends that I was telling them, like, you exude that energy that you really want it.
Yes.
And sometimes that's why you don't find it.
Yeah, man, because you're in a
want
want situation, and I have situations.
And then people, I think people can maybe smell that energy of like desperation. Like some people, so it comes across, and it comes across for like women also know when men are being desperate. Like, you're a bit desperate for this, and
women don't go for those, men, bro.
Yeah, you can feel it, and it's just like it's always the person who's like, I'm done with love. Fuck it, I'm gonna be a hoe. The next person they meet, oh, I'm in love again. This is my life.
She's the one.
now we're in Morocco saying I do.
After 2 weeks talking stage, it's finished. Right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here and go pick up my son. So, anyways, lads, if you've made it to the end of this podcast, you didn't like anything that we said today, well, you can charge.
Bang bang.
Thank you for listening.
Oh.